He said, mine's working. And we should be live. Welcome back, Internet, to the regularly broadcasted thing. I'm going to make sure I'm not destroying your eardrums because I have to change
Kind of did
all
it,
of my
guys.
settings. We kind of did it. We did a thing. Thank you, Blank, for being first. Cheesy for saying best, Jacob for Mang it, and for Jinja Ninja for giving what I'm sure Bill would have said and onto a Phasmophobia stream. This is going to be our normal Thursday podcast where we go ahead and we do body cam breakdowns here. I'm going to have to adjust OBS on the fly because I don't have presets for any of this, but it's okay because you should be able to see what we see. This is actually a smidge more full screen. I guess I can go even fuller screen. I want to thank producer Juan for coming in super clutch and helping unfuck all of this. I think I made it past the 30 seconds. And if not, no, we didn't. So welcome. Welcome to all of this. We have a couple stuff that got sent to us through our Patreon. If you guys are real big fans of this kind of stuff and want it to continue to go more smoothly than when Josh is left to his own devices, go ahead and join us on Patreon. It's as little as $1 a month. It'll help afford some logistical help for us so that we don't have to wake up producer Juan all the time in the middle of his naps. So, Alfredo, yes, we fixed the stream. Tyler Stevens, what's going on, my guy? I do not recognize your name. It is good to see you. And Sergeant George, do what?
I've got pillow hair.
Pillow hair?
My hair got, it's all smushed on one side because I was literally asleep until about 8 minutes ago.
So, anyways, go check us out. We are on Instagram, TikTok, and obviously YouTube. You're here, and I think we tweet periodically. But until then, we have producer Juan below me, and then we have below him, we have Cheesy, which I can get him to actually
also
fully on.
Josh, you're gonna have to crop the camera thing because you've got Cheesy on there, and then you've got the
stream. It moved because the poof was in here.
Freaking poof. Well, you got to hide non-video participants.
Oh, the whole nine. Hiding non-video participants. Hiding non-video participants. There it goes.
So sneaky.
There it is. Now I got to undo it again. There it is. There it is. Okay, I fixed it.
Love it. I love it.
Shout out to Alt
so good.
Select. This is all great. So anyways, like the stream if you're currently watching, and we're going to go ahead and do this. You were going to get producer Juan and Josh breakdown today.
That's right.
So shout out to Police Post. This is going to be our first one. This is just titled De-escalation in like all bold. You guys can't see it, but you guys get a full screen of this.
Are you aware that it's less than the middle of the night?
That doesn't matter. Okay.
Are you aware that they're officers and they're asking you questions?
Ma'am, I appreciate it, but
Oh, so all you guys are together?
no.
So all of you guys together.
So what's the context for this?
This says officers talking to an individual at length in hopes of gaining compliance. Officers responded to the area in order to arrest the individual on a felony warrant. He's got a spooky warrant. And I guess this tarp in the back here is his living structure. Interesting.
Cool.
What? What's up? That what?
I can't even afford that house, so.
No kidding.
Come on.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get one additional. Yeah, I would say that.
Hey, Josh, turn up the sound for the video.
Okay, stand by.
What are you doing? Come here. Come here.
Can I turn up volume on this? I have desktop audio, but I can like.
There should be. Do you see in the little corner of the Instagram? There's a little voice box.
Is there?
Down there. See if that does that not do it.
It just turns it on and off.
That's weird. Okay. Poofy said it was slow, but might just be the recording.
He's not saying much.
Lay your weapons down, sir.
Put your hands out.
This is a federal officer.
Put your hands up.
No.
So he's wearing like a full-on like Jedi rogue thing going
He's got
on here. He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi-ing it.
So yeah, the homeless population's like extra sketchy, and the only reason I say that is a lot of times they're very neglected, and this is going to be with MHMR issues. This is also going to be with like getting city resources and stuff like that. I would give it like a 60% chance that they truly, in their minds, believe they are a federal agent. I kid you not. It's like a broad. I don't know if there's a psychology reason for this, but when people start to get like paranoid or schizophrenic, they believe they're agents. Like literally, I knew of 5 that I personally dealt with that was like part of their MO. How did they get that? Is this like a Rain Man complex, or is it a Beautiful Mind complex?
Beautiful mind complex. Yeah.
Yeah, but why the federal agent thing?
I don't know. I mean,
is it just like
it's
sexy?
not really. I guess it's just, it could be anything. I mean, if you got paranoid delusions, like they don't have to make sense. You know, like you're just having hallucinations or whatever.
Shout out to Axon. I'm no longer allowed to say a thing I used to say to them all the time. We are here again on Police Post. This is the backstory is police initially responded to a home after the family member called 911. Family member tells the dispatcher that the individual has a gun and calmly asks, "Please get cops here." According to the audio recording, it was a .45 caliber Glock 21. Let me check the chat here, make sure I'm not missing anything important. Brian Porter,
it's
good to see you. Good. Poofy, thank you for your assistance. Brian is here. Richard's here.
Alfredo's here.
Alfredo, what's going on, my guy? Fix the stream. Yes, Juan fixed the stream. I'm not going to say I did. I clicked some buttons. We're going to say Juan fixed it. Where's Lore Master Josh when you need him? Cheesy's here. Yeah, Cheesy is here. I appreciate it. This was the one that's messed up. If it gets this one, I think it is. Oh, this is not good.
Contact with the caller.
Shout out.
Help me to read it.
Get out of the truck!
Oh.
Get out of the truck! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get out of the truck! 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 He's right here! Get out of the truck!
God dang.
Shots fired! Start BLS! He's on the ground!
Well, he played a game he lost. Wrecked, my dude. This is a big reason why, and I'll see if I can just mute this and get it to cycle over again. We don't let people re-enter places they've already left. Once somebody's outside of a vehicle or a structure, they tend to not. Oh, this is so sketch.
That's super sketchy.
Like he sees you coming, lights and sirens, and he starts leaving. Like, oh, shout out to that backup officer! What an animal!
Yeah, he boxed him in. That's good.
What an animal!
I legit was expecting him to actually try to drive off really quick. He was just very slow to like switch gears and start driving off. That's why I see in my Explorer we got the little dial.
The little dial,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would have been like whoop whoop. I would have been out of there.
Shout out to this. That's wild, dude. Yeah, we don't
hit me.
Yeah, we don't let people get back into, and mostly because they can recover an item or a firearm, or they can even it's a more difficult furtive movement to prevent versus a waistband or something like that. They could be pulling machine guns out of their truck, depending on where you're at.
I love the 2 times speed there, where they just look like freaking, what's that?
Oh, it's cycled back over. So yeah, don't pull guns on cops. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say this during these streams. Shout out to having a good. I'm kind of glad, I guess, they didn't get into a vehicle pursuit so that it didn't make anybody else any.
So I do want to tell everybody, if you are going to be getting out of your truck like that when you're surrounded by cops, there's this really cool technique that I learned back in my karate days. So you put your hands up like this, and then they can see that you have nothing in your hands, and then you follow commands.
Yeah,
and it works like 85% of the time.
That's Juan's 2 cents there. So
15, but
yeah, I mean, it was, and I think I don't know. What always frustrates me about this is this is a domestic. I'm sure, I'm almost 1,000% sure this is a domestic that's escalated somehow. Learn how to be a good partner. If you can be good at anything, maybe not your job, maybe not, being a good friend, but be a good like domestic partner, because that's like the real one relationship you get to pick. That you could just be like, hey, I'm going to spend the most amount of time possible with this person. Like, be not shitty. Like, I don't know.
Also, be okay with leaving.
Yes.
If you're in a bad relationship, if it sucks, if you're fighting all the time, it's okay to break up.
Yeah.
You don't have to marry him. You don't have to have kids with him.
Nope.
You can just not.
one solid dad advice for the day. You can just not. Try not.
Try don't.
Try don't. That's rock solid, dude.
Good.
I'm here for it.
Yep.
This is actually pretty cool. I'm gonna make sure.
Oh, this is the Phasmophobia.
This is
stream
the Phasmophobia stream we just did. So shout out to Police Post again. This is a pretty cool training scenario. We had to do something similar when I was in academy, but I have some beef with this, and I'll explain why here in a second. I have seen this.
On you, Dan.
Oh,
Ooh,
so every single one of those pokes in the legs is pretty fatal. I mean, you gotta imagine, like, you got a lot of arteries, you got a lot of stuff there, dude. And if you're just like Wild West, Wild Urbaning it, and like standing in the like hallway, the other problem with this type of scenario training is that you get a go marker. And you can kind of tell he's like already prepared himself for said knife pulling. And there's very few scenarios, unless you're just kind of leisurely walking in the alley and someone tries to go full Bruce Wayne's parents on you. Like, this is a pretty, I'm not saying it can't happen, but if this was like a building search, and it's really the only time you'd be in a hallway like this, you'd have your gun out already. But I don't like that method for that reason. All of those stabs are very fatal for you.
On you, Dan.
So why is he dropping to the floor like that? Is that
so
just
there's a your knee-jerk reaction to contact in jiu-jitsu, it's literally a meme, is that you'll fall to your back and you'll use your legs as leverage. There's a punch box series is what they call, at least what they called it for us in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, where it even says this, officer does have jiu-jitsu experience and wrestling experience. It says it right there. But my biggest issue with this is that, like, it works great when you're trying to block a punch, because what you're doing is you're basically shoving, and he literally does exactly that. You're shoving your feet into their hips, and that keeps their hips from mounting you is really what you're trying to do. Or if they manage to push past that, that right there is what he's aiming for. You can get them into guard is the whole purpose of this maneuver. The problem is that he not trying to punch you, he's trying to stab you. A punch to the legs is not fatal. Hell, technically a punch to the face isn't fatal either, but like... a stab to the leg's a very bad day, and there's no real way. Yeah, there's no real way of preventing. You're also making yourself less mobile. He could stab you and then disengage, and then come back up and stab you again and then disengage. It's just a really fucky thing that I'm not a huge fan of this. The more common, and Police Post has actually covered this before, is running away, and running away like in a circle.
That was gonna be my suggestion, because I was like, at the very least, start backing up.
Yeah.
You might not be. It just gives you a lot more. You're not just a sitting duck and stab.
Yeah,
and because in the time it takes for those bullets to work, he can kill you.
Well, and that's the problem.
Very easily.
You might have to empty an entire magazine of this guy, and it not be fatal for him. And again, it'll eventually be fatal, but it's not going to be like it's not blowing your lungs out of the back of your body. Unfortunately,
and that's if he doesn't reach you first and start stabbing you first. At which point he might be stabbing you in the arm. He might be taking your gun. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
It seems like backing up is a lot better, unless you're asking for a belly rub.
Yes. And Blank Forge, yes, you're 100% correct. The hips don't lie. We all learned that in the early 2000s.
Right. Shakira's Academy.
Yes. Let's see. What is this? We get audio here?
Man.
I don't have nothing.
That was me this morning.
Put your hands on top of your head.
Okay. If you have this big of a less lethal thing, you don't approach this person.
Any weapons on you, sir? I don't have no weapons. No? No weapons. Okay. I don't have no weapons.
So this is assuming compliance. This is what we call assuming compliance. This is what happens when you don't get fought a lot. I did this when I was new to policing, and I'm like, well, in the scenarios, they just complied. And I'm like, oh, welcome to the streets. Like, hey, it's a wonderful game where you don't get to know. Super sketch.
Oof.
Yeah. Oh, full mount. This is bad. Hey, shout out to the civilian.
She went to her back. That's good.
According to...
Super helpful civilians. Kind of trying. Doing their best.
Just so to let you know, you're getting bit. You were getting scratched. You were getting spit on. There. Nothing good is happening here.
Oh, quick question. How kosher then, in this point, is it for these civilians to just go up and like kick that dude in the face?
110%. What training? Okay, what training do you have? Yeah, like you're not required by any law. You know, your use of force is very different than somebody else's. You could articulate now, and again, this is why we always tell people shut the fuck up. Like, don't talk to cops. But you could articulate in the defense of a third person, and that if he's mounting her to choke her, that's deadly force. Technically, you could go up and shoot this guy in the head. Theoretically. Now, again, you have to articulate your own use of force here. And then also be kosher with what you're doing.
I would not feel super comfortable with them grappling and then trying to take a shot.
Oh,
this would be like that.
Look at what happened in the dog video. That's exactly what I was talking about. You don't want to FUD it and nail this chick in that. Yeah, you don't want to do any of that.
Like you can
stuff.
Absolutely. Like you can wind up and take a kick on
this
guy.
This is where
easy.
like the bison kick or whatever it is, the Chun-Li kick, like the whole nine is going to be kosher here. I do understand that they're trying to like not, and this is, I am proud of these guys for stepping in and doing it. The problem is like not doing anything to get them separated or not doing anything to start causing some level of pain on this person. It's
not super. I feel like if it had been just one guy, it probably would have been more effective.
Sure.
Once the second and the third one, we talked about diffusion of responsibility before and all that stuff, but it's like now they're in a group and they don't know who's doing what.
Yep.
And they're all confused. And they're like, okay, I guess we're just going to try and push him. Are you pushing him? Am I pushing him? Who's pushing him? And then nobody's doing anything, really.
Yeah, and like I said,
none of them are being helpful.
I'm not going to read any of Blank Forge's comments. I think 90% of this could have been avoided had that officer not approached that person. And then on top of that, like not trying to detain somebody by yourself. Once you're having to take someone's civil liberties, and this is just free advice for those of you that are out there, assume they're not going to be happy with it. And if they're not going to be happy with it, how motivated are they to stop you from doing that? And that'll go all the way from running to, sometimes just passive, whatever aggression or whatever. But this is clearly active aggression. And she's very lucky he didn't have some sort of weapon.
Also, maybe consider your size relative to their size.
Oh yeah.
In terms of maybe waiting for backup.
Yeah, he didn't
take them down because even if you're even sized, you still probably want to, wait for help.
Oh yeah.
Because if they do get angry, that's still a hell of a fight.
Yeah. Make sure it wasn't going for her firearm. Yeah, it's important. My guy's not putting his stuff down to help.
No.
Hey, shout out to these backup officers that are going to just punch him to death, I guess.
That's good.
What is going on here?
They're putting handcuffs around his face.
So I'm going to be honest. No more than about 3 people can help in a hands-on scenario. Once you get to 3, like that's maybe 2 limbs and like their waist, and that's about it. Like you're not really going to... A 4th person isn't terribly helpful. A 5th person's there for scene safety, maybe.
They're there to film.
Yeah, basically. Get their body cam in there or whatever. This is not... This is my one... I totally get the enthusiasm for wanting to jump in. I get it. I've been there. But like, Sela, what is this guy doing?
Specific this guy.
Yeah, what is this guy doing?
That's him. He's like, no, I got to get in on this. And then he's not going to want to write the report.
He's contributing. Is this EMS?
Oh, there's number 6.
Here we go. He's looking for a place to get in. How about let's take the officer that just got her ass kicked out of this. Let's remove her. I think maybe that's what he's doing. Remove her. Hey, shout out.
There you go.
Shout out.
And the firearm probably too. Good idea.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Yeah, let's move the less
lethal. Is it picked under him? Okay, there you go.
Yeah. She had a bad day, dude. She got one whole glove on. Good job.
She lost her scrunchie.
Yeah, dude.
Like her hair was up when this started. And a hat.
This is why you don't approach people by yourself. You don't. Man, this is super. Oh, it's super close. Yeah. Anyways, it's a bad idea. Don't do that. If you're a cop, don't do that. Also, if you are just in general, like in public, just assume people are shitty. Be nice to everyone, because I think that's the best like way to do. But just assume, in general, people are shitty. And let them surprise you when they're super nice, and then reward them for that niceness. But just assume. This one's where we're at.
Good life advice.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Welcome
I
to
felt that
the
in my teeth.
welcome to the neighborhood, bitch. That's incredible.
Wait, go back a little bit. I guess you can't
Yeah.
on Instagram. But you see he knocks the dude down, right? Watch this, and then follow dude with the tank top here. He knows the technique. See?
Not me.
He knows. Yeah. It's like, hey, cops are here. It's all good.
You think he lives
What's
this? Shout out to Police Fitness Nutrition. You think he lives this down ever?
No.
Bro, get wrecked when your city comes to hold you
I love
down.
it because I think he got like the dude like stepped on his foot to pin him down, and then.
Yeah,
I love that.
this is what I want. Aye.
Yeah.
Or what's the meme? We're gonna play a game of whack fuck here.
Yeah.
Fuck. Aye. It gets me every time. Know where you're committing crimes. I guess if you're a criminal, here's some free advice. Don't. But if you're gonna commit a crime, try to do it in a like crime-friendly place if that exists. I'll tell you right now, the neighborhood is not that. I'll say this. It is an interesting. So we're Dallasites. I guess we grew up around Dallas. What's it called? Is it Oak Cliff? No, Oaklawn. Is it Oaklawn?
Oaklawn.
Oaklawn is the neighborhood, as we call it. Shout out to them. But you had a lot of people that were very light post. That's incredible.
I pinned that comment.
That's incredible.
That's so worth.
So, anyways, the Oaklawn were a lot of people that were very pro LGBTQ plus and all that stuff. All congregated together, and in general, a lot of people go there to go meet and go have their safe spaces and all that kind of stuff. But what's the most important about that neighborhood is that everyone's invested in it, and it goes to there's a lot of people that talk about like broken glass theory, and there's a lot of psychologists that will have discussions about neighborhoods and things of that nature, and I guess what is it, society. But when you have a group of people that are very invested, they self-police. That was like a perfect example of self-policing. Versus like if you go to the first one I said, Oak Cliff, where there's like nobody gives a shit. There's a Walmart not even like 15 minutes from my house, and there's two Walmarts. There's one that's like 10 minutes past that, and then the one that's closer to me. The one that's closer to me has just like fucking what is it? It's like a herd of shopping carts that aren't put up. Are literally there's like a good 30% of the parking spots you cannot physically park in because there's stupid shopping carts there. And some of it might be that the Walmart's short staffed, so they can't like put them back. But I'm just gonna assume it's because these people are shitty. And they don't care. And so that becomes a systemic issue where if they don't care about that, they don't care about littering, they don't care about where they park, they don't care about their house, they don't care about any of these things. And it just becomes this like apathetic, sad place. And it's not economic, it's not cultural. It really just comes down to how much of an investment do the people that live in a place have to that place.
Well, and it does become cultural because if you see everybody else not giving why would you give a crap, you know?
Well, should I say it's like it's not cultural to the people that occupy it. The place creates a culture, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of more.
Yeah, it's so you can think of it like it's not just you affecting your environment. Your environment also affects you back.
Yes.
And so the more time you spend in bad environments, the worse you are going to be. It's just a survival mechanism. You just become, you try to fit into the environment that you're in.
What's Poofy saying?
I don't know. What was his?
Nope. I'm sure there's something sketchy.
Are they
Dude's like 5'11". The cop's like 5'6" max. Richard.
Where'd my chat go?
Uh,
Just had this pulled up.
he just said read this, and I don't see what it is. That poll is the real
No.
hero.
I think he was trying to read the. He was trying to make you read Blank Forge's comment. I think.
Nope, not happening.
Yeah. I did like the damn. He did not vote in that poll.
So here, let's go see what we got here. Oh, let's get you some audio.
Hey, stay in the car.
Yes.
Drop the knife. Give me the air. Clarksville Pike, 3236. He's got a knife. Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! What are you doing? Dude, what are you doing? Drop the knife! I don't want to shoot you! No! I don't want to shoot you!
Shout out to playing to the body cam.
No! Hey, give me some cars up here. He's got a knife. Give me some cars. He's got a knife. Drop it! 13 shots fired. Give me some cars up here. Clarksville Pike just past Buena Vista. Hey, stay over there! Stay over there!
I will!
Dude, what are you doing, man? Come on!
This guy's response to this is
I'm not gonna
wild.
have to do that.
So,
Big knife.
had he fallen on his back and used his feet for leverage, oh boy, gets stabbed by, and that looks like a ceramic knife, dude. That would really fuck you up if it was ceramic.
Well, that's. Was he holding both? Was he holding one and had the other one in his pocket? Why are there two knives?
I don't
here?
know. Maybe it's
Was
just
he dual wielding them? Because
What-
that'd be.
What was it? Akimbo? Was that what they used to be in like the old Call of Duties? Akimbo
that's for
with
guns.
the knives. Yeah, there it is.
For guns, it's
yeah.
akimbo. For knives, it's
Dual wielding? You know, he's dual wielding.
Yeah, it gives you the option to do the flurry attack.
Shout out to dual wielding +5. He had all of his stats in dexterity, but none in speed. So he lost on that one. I think the officer did actually a really good job. Shout out. This is pretty interesting. I'll let this play for a second.
I remember this one. I think it was the one where and I don't know if you can tell on this one because the quality is kind of crap. But
Yeah.
he's got his buddy in the passenger seat who just like sees what's happening. He's like, I don't want to be part of this, and just like leaves.
Is he really?
which
Oh,
is-
okay. So the
yeah.
driver does. So
No, the passenger. I think the driver was the guy with the knives, and the passenger is like
just
my
deuces
friend.
out. Yeah.
My friend's crazy, and I don't want to be part of this.
have no
and
problem.
He just pieces out.
Yeah, it does say that he had 2 large knives here. But the this is now he didn't have time, so this is not a criticism on the officer. But securing your vehicle is a big deal, like a huge deal. Notice the guy went in there, so we kept rifles in ours, and that's a big. Some guy goes into my car, he's probably getting smoked because he could possibly get access to a weapon. He already had his dual wield knives, so it's not really that big a deal. He had +9 in wits. Says, what are you doing? Massive iron.
Oh my god.
Richard's killing the game today. Yeah, 2 weapons, 5 feet. I can't with the chat today.
Richard is not missing today. He is killing it in the chat.
So shout out to police posts.
Street, man. Hey, I need another tourniquet. Hurry up, man. Come on.
Wonder if he did the fall on your back and try to prevent
He
himself from that.
fell on his back to prevent the knife attack.
That's probably not the case. I'm talking shit now.
That's just gonna be our commentary every time.
Hey, go help him. He's in there.
I got it. I knocked him
Come on,
off.
hurry up. Hurry up.
He already cuffed. Already there, bro. Relax. That motherfucker's sleeping now, but you cuffed up.
The commentary. The motherfucker's asleep in that bitch. Backstory: shooting happened. Trooper patrol observed the disturbance. Officer was shot as seen. Other was injured. Okay, so he didn't get stabbed.
No. Still a funny joke.
You just let me tear his ass up.
How do you feel about that second comment
Fucking
down?
ambulance now, dude.
My department doesn't even replace our TQ. Yeah, that's mine didn't provide them. So we had these rubber. I don't remember what the brand was, but they were like a big elastic rubber like pad. They kind of look like a. If you guys are familiar with like waist trainers, that's kind of what it looked like. And so what you're supposed to do is just put pressure on it and wrap this big old rubber. This was a huge rubber band around your leg. It wasn't great. There was no real good way to tie it. It was kind of sucky. And then like doing it one limbed, like if you only had one hand, is practically out of the question. And so I provided all of my own tourniquets, and if I used it, I'd have to replace my own. But yeah, like this is shitty.
Well, you had your little medical fanny, tactical.
That's what I mean. I kept my tactical fanny, so I had I had backups on some of that stuff. But
Where's Ginger Ninja to talk about this tactical fanny?
yeah, the tactical fanny.
It's a very different meaning in the UK.
It's a thick tactical fanny. Plus the massively increased chance to miss. Person bobs the torso. Hell of a, yeah, okay. They're talking about something.
Yeah, they're
else.
talking about aiming for center mass, I think.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck on aiming if you're running. Like trying to shoot when standing still is hard enough. It's
because Caden asked, "Why don't police aim for the head?"
Yeah, good
and
luck.
then everybody's replying,
Good luck.
"Why? Yeah, because you're not gonna freaking hit it." That's
so
why.
there's a every single gun range you ever gone to has what's called a berm, and this berm, if you look at it from a sightline standpoint, it's like maybe a thick book. And if you go if you go below that, you hit the ground and it will probably skip over the berm, and you have no idea where that ricochet is going to go. If you go above that, you go into the ceiling, right? And the ceiling's going to piss everyone off because it's the baffles and it's really expensive. In the street, if you go above your berm, which is a person, you're sailing that clean into the next county or whatever, and probably going to land it on some kid or whatever. The problem with aiming for the head, unless that person is on the ground, is that if you miss, you are sailing it. You'd almost rather skip it if you had to do something, because at least the bullet's slowing down and becoming a little less lethal. Center mass gives you the highest probability of making a hit happen. That's why we do that. That's why we don't aim for the head. That's stupid.
Yeah, you probably. I mean, skipping it is also not a great thing.
No, that's not a good idea either, but that's better than
Josh's department learned the hard way.
It's true. skipping them doesn't mean you're going to be safe, okay? You could skip it right into some homeless lady's heart, okay, and kill her right then and there. So yeah, don't do that. Don't leave it up to chance. Aim center mass or avoid the shooting altogether by, not showing up by yourself. These, in almost all of these were pretty unavoidable. Oh God, I already don't like the way this looks. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure you guys are getting a decent view of this. Let me adjust this real quick so y'all can actually see what I'm seeing. There we go. Now you can see the whole thing. Bro, we are doubling up. He's got a VNR and the taser deployed. Jesus Christ. What's going on here?
Taser at a gas station. That's a fantastic idea. We know how this goes.
These guys are what? Juan, I'll let you break this down. I'm curious.
Okay, so for one thing, how are you not overpowering this guy already with 3 of you? For another thing, this dude's way too close with that taser.
Yeah.
If he's wanting to, unless he's gonna dry stun him, your probes are gonna go this far apart, and he's gonna just annoy him.
Yeah.
He's gonna get mad.
Yeah.
It's not gonna lock him up at all. So I don't know what you're doing. Dude needs to get on a treadmill. That's why he's not helping with hands-on. That's why he's going straight to taser.
So, so the concept, and we learned this. I was fortunate enough to have some jiu-jitsu training. Is to take out the legs of the table, right? It's just an analogy that they'll use. So you'd imagine if there's legs on a table, the more of them you take away, the more unstable the table becomes. This guy currently has 3 legs to his table. It's a pretty stable table. You see where this guy's kind of got, I don't know if I pointed this. He's
fully capable of taking away one of the legs of that officer on the right.
Yeah. Instead of choking him, this is a choke. This is not a VNR. The reason you know that is because his elbow is not underneath his chin. So you're actually restricting breathing on the trachea, which is not, it's not a VNR. This is not deadly force that they're leveraging against him. I will say that. He could take this arm and grab both of his wrists and just pull it. I just out of, and again, I can say this because I've done this before. I've done this probably too many times. Also, big homie here, which looks like he's in pretty decent shape, right? This leg here could be yours for the low price of not just holding him, And then this fourth guy that you can't see much of should really be just going at his waist or trying to pull his feet out from under him to get his hips planted on the ground. That's kind of what you're going for. This guy just needs to go home. We're doing none of that. Oh, no!
What are you doing?
He tasted. Shout out to Partner Gaming. I appreciate I appreciate you coming here. I said he should have gone home. Thank you to everyone who's currently in the stream. Thank you for the likes. God, it's a shit show. Oh my god.
There you go.
Are we punching?
Look how much bigger he is than that guy.
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm them, I'm not helping.
No.
Would you help this one?
Hell no.
Hell no.
I'm not getting it. For one, I'm not getting anywhere near a taser at a gas station. I'm getting back in my car and leaving because that place is about to explode.
Bet.
That's the first one. I'm like, dude, there's signs that say don't use your cell phone, and you're over here with a freaking taser, like an idiot. Not to mention, like, there's already 4 cops on this dude, and they somehow can't get him under control.
Are we punching? Are we resorting to punching?
Yeah.
This looks great.
Yeah. It looks amazing on camera. You know? Oh, look, he's still trying to tase him. You already tased your partner. What are you doing, man?
So in the use of force report, I've had to do a few of these in my time.
Okay. Most egregious thing, this dude that walks right in front of the camera.
100%. This is worse. This is worse than tasing your partner.
I would tackle that guy. Dude, you are blocking the shot.
Every time you use a technique or an item or a weapon or a less lethal thing on a person, you have to document those individual instances. So, like, if I punch a guy 15 times, for every punch I do, I literally have to say, the first punch I landed was to try to gain compliance through pain. The second punch I landed was because the first one didn't work. The third punch I landed was like, you literally have to, in a good use of force report, articulate these things. So when they say, why do we have 4 taser cartridges on the ground? You know, they'd say, well, on the first taser cartridge, I used it because, I was trying to gain compliance through pain. When that didn't work, I tased my partner. And then when that didn't work, which didn't help at all.
Somehow, it's not useful.
You have to write a report about this kind of stuff, right? And so, like, at what point in the back of your mind as a cop are you like, well, this is clearly not working. Maybe I should try something else. Never, apparently, according to these guys. This is rough.
No, they're doing the exact same thing. They're back in the exact same position. One dude choking him, 2 dudes trying to press down on his back like that's going to do anything.
Yeah. This guy here has done the most useful thing in this to pin his legs so far that I've seen. I wish we could see this other side.
Isn't he the guy that tried to tase him, though? Like, I think he just ran out of taser cartridges and finally had to do something else.
Yeah. You see all the probes on the ground, dude? Fuck. Mm-hmm. These are all probes. What? I guess they have him? Is that what he's... Who got tased? I think it was this guy that got tased.
I think one of them dropped their radio, too.
He took it like a champ.
Should have had a mic loop.
Bruh. How mad is this sergeant on a scale from 1 to 10? He goes, what in the fuck?
When he was off camera, he still had hair, and he pulled it out, watching this and walking over.
Look at his posture.
Yeah.
What the fuck are y'all doing?
He's not mad. He's disappointed. I look at him with his handheld radio. Yes. Old school.
Shout out to Nick at the mic loop. Bruh. Is this not disappointed dad posture?
Dude.
Y'all get the fuck out of here. All of y'all get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, they got him.
How in trouble are these guys?
Bro, put your taser away.
Is he holding it still?
He's holding it still. This is a different cop now with the taser. This is not tubby taser guy.
Are we tasing a guy in handcuffs right now? What happened to the 4 cops?
They walked off.
Shout out to
these 2 are the only ones. I guess these 2 are responsible for writing everybody's reports.
I'm not going to subject our audience to that again. I'm just reading this on police. Shout out to Police Post for bringing this hot, steeping pile of garbage. And it's not... Part of it's training. I think part of it's also recruiting. And I'll say this. It's not... After a while, you figure it out. Like I remember Juan and I, when we were young men, we were building a set thing for one of these film things that we were doing, and we ended up having all
tent.
these big ass PVC pipes. This is what we ended up with. So like a bunch of idiots. We were like 17, 18 years old. Juan and I I was a dumbass and decided to go and try to sword fight with a guy that took fencing in college. And so
I think we were like 19 or 20 because I took fencing my freshman year. I was like fresh off of fencing.
So anyways, one, it completely picks me apart whether I take the long pole one or I go dual wielding with these shorter pipes. So we're beating the shit out of each other with these pipes. And eventually all I figured out is Juan would give me his leg to hit as long as I ate a shot, right? So it just turned into a war of attrition where I was just leg shotting the shit out of Juan. And I said, eventually something's going to give. It looked like he got hit by a car by the end of it, like the inside of his leg. And so
Not as bad as your hands, but yeah.
I was about to say. So anyways, long story short, I found what was kind of working, and I just kept going at that. Eventually, even in my untrained mind, I realized, every time I swing for Juan, it gets parried, and I end up getting stuck in the chest with the PVC pipe. So let me stop doing that shit. Yeah, anyways.
I was akimbo.
Yeah, even with as little as training or no training as possible, I think with good recruiting, you find people that have good problem-solving skills under stress.
Yeah, you get people. It's hard because it's like there's a training element, but there's also just like a personality element to being able to handle high stress situations. And it can be, I think you can get it with enough experience, but for some people, it takes a lot of experience, and you don't really want to do that in this situation.
And it really,
you want to get that somewhere else.
Yeah, what's going on, Alec? It's good to see you. Shout out to Chris. Was Chris here somewhere? Maybe.
Which Chris the cop or Chris cop? No, I think they were talking because of the sergeant that rolled up.
Imagine if Chris was here. Yeah, Chris would be. Yeah, no. Beating someone's ass, probably, to be honest.
He'd be pulling out that 80s radio and being like,
he'd be, I need real police officers here now. Fucking butthole. Manifold, what's going on, my dude? What a cool name. Shout out to that. Go ahead and drop a like if you're currently watching and haven't done so, go ahead and drop a like. This brings this stuff to more people. We have producer Juan and I holding the fort down. Producer Juan, being a person of good courage and a good tactical mindset under stress, was able to, in 30 seconds of being in full REM sleep, recognize that notification on his phone was Josh doing Phasmophobia live for 30 seconds and being able to fix the stream. It can be done in recruiting, boys and girls. It can be done in recruiting. That is all of these. I have the messaged ones. These are the Facebook.
That's also why we always say that you should have life experience before you go to become a cop.
Yes.
Because a lot of that life experience, especially if you're working crappy jobs, retail will help prepare you for that.
Oh, yeah.
If you work in events, it'll help prepare you for that. Anything where you get yelled at and basically anything that takes your power away from you to respond.
Oh, yeah.
To something, and then people just treat you like crap. Will help prepare you for it, because that is probably going to be 90% of your interactions with the public.
Oh yeah,
is you are, you'll have a little more power to respond, but you still can't like punch them in the face and stuff.
No,
just because you have to articulate why.
These were the ones that Bill gave us here. I'm gonna kind of try to, and I wanted
to find. I don't know if I sent you this one, but there was one of these two Montreal I'm trying to find it right now. These two Montreal cops trying to arrest this dude, and it wasn't going great for them.
It was not going great. Okay.
So I gotta go. Let me see.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 up here. So do you want me to start on one of them while you do your thing?
Yeah, just start on one of them. I'll keep watching.
Okay, I'm gonna adjust the window so y'all can see what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And then there's no misconstruing. Shout out for doing this on the fly.
I'm just so used to it's a Reddit post. I'm just so used to the Reddit app. I can't figure out where my comments are.
So, elderly store owner opens fire on a would-be robber with a rifle in Norco. I don't know where Norco is. Manifold. So, officer, why did you strike this man? He annoyed me. Shout out to that articulation. Talk about that's going to be a bit of an ass kicking on the back end for the write-up. Alfredo. Oh, I know this one. Oh, Alfredo. Is this one spicy? I mean, by the name, it sounds it's pretty spicy. Are we frozen? Oh, did I minimize us? I might have minimized us. Hold on.
Oh.
Yes, it's
Probably,
because
yeah, you
it's
probably
because I have
minimized
us.
your Discord.
I have us on a separate thing here. There we go. Problem solved. There it is. Okay. Unfroze. Still unfrozen. Good. So let me get to some audio, and let's play it. Oh! Oh! Oh, it's an old lady. Oh my God.
She knows what she's about.
Bro. Look at this. She's ready for number 2. She's played Ready or Not. Hell yeah.
Well, she knows they might come back.
That's incredible, dude. What an animal.
Dude, nuts.
That is grade A. Fuck around and find out.
Ooh, is this the outdoor cam?
He's like,
He comes out.
He's got a shotgun.
Shot my arm off. Oh yeah, leave him. No, leave him behind.
Shout out for yielding right of way.
Yeah, that's nice of him. It's nice
Bruh.
that they at least follow traffic rules, even if they don't follow any others.
Like, so there's a saying. I don't know if it's a quote from somebody, but they said that, what was it? God made man and Smith & Wesson made man equal. This lady's got to be well north of 60 here, dude. Probably 70. Did you hear the fear in that guy's voice?
Yeah, dude.
He felt real good about himself. And again, Buckshot will do that to you. But this is like a mom and pop store too. Like, look at what's on the shelf here. Fuck you guys for trying to rob the mom and pop store.
This is just like a corner store. Yeah.
No, but like, like in older cities and stuff like that are like legit, like they're not Valeros.
Yeah.
They're not like these. This is a mom and pop store. Yeah.
Right. Like this
Fuck
is a
that.
like everything store for the town.
Yeah.
You know, where you can get your cigarettes and your alcohol and your little tiny American flags and.
Oh, partner gaming says I just assumed their gender. Apparently, it's a dude. Shout out to this old man. Look at that. That was so fast, dude. It was like ready in there. He sees what he gets, get behind cover, and bro, shout out.
I found the link. I'm dropping it in the Discord right now, Josh.
Bet. Okay.
It's a Reddit link from r/unexpected.
r/unexpected. Grabbing it. Is it in general?
Mm-hmm.
Copy. Tracking. I don't see it.
Look at that AR15.com flex over there.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Shout out
And your
to
DMs.
Shout out to ARFCOM. It's really me messaging myself, but you put it in the podcast links?
Like that's not a bigger flex. You're just messaging myself. You know.
Copy.
I'll slide into my own DMs.
I slide into my own DMs.
Speaking of which, here's Naked HD. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
On this channel.
What's going on? I can't. I'm not going to assume that thing's gender either because that's probably going to give you in trouble.
Yeah, just remove it.
It's a Reddit link, and we'll do the Reddit one.
Yeah.
Let's see what this looks like.
See if you can full screen it.
Let's see what I can do here. Let's see if I can.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know what Reddit lets us do. I don't use it on my computer. I use it on my phone.
Okay, hold on. Boom! I made it.
By the way, boys and girls, we do have a subreddit. It's r/onlycops.
Hey.
If you want to join the subreddit, we post the same thing there that we post everywhere else.
Okay, are we ready?
Oh, there, right next to the volume thing, there's a little full screen thing.
Oh, is there?
The two little arrows.
Oh,
Hey,
hell
there
yeah.
we
Okay,
go.
hold on. Let me fix the.
Yeah, resize it.
Let me resize this real quick. See how I can see it. Bet. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see what this is. Don't let Chad go. like the leg kick. Here we go. Super effective. Bro!
He broke out and ran.
He finessed that. This is like the most dominant position outside of being fully mounted on somebody that you could possibly ask for. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little disappointed. This is fully... So right here is what we call leg sweep time. Leg sweeps are the most devastating thing you can do to a standing human being. Go look at, just Google judo leg sweep. And it's like some back breaking, your vertebrae are never going to be the same kind of thing to do. So that would have been a good
Karate Kid has leg sweeps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, if you're just the arms are the least control you can get on a human being. Try to grab for torsos. Clinches are a thing for a reason. They have it in wrestling. They have it in boxing. They have it in, I think even karate's got them. Clinches are a good thing. Clinch people because they can't run when you're basically a little koala on them. It's the best way I can do it. It also looks friendly. It looks like...
Oh, yeah. Good.
No, I'm just saying it looks friendly. What were we going to say?
Oh, no, just go back because speaking of looking friendly, go back to where they had him with his arm behind his back, like right there, where it's like where his hands way up.
Yeah.
Like that. How, like, I'm just trying to think of how do you get from there to like handcuffing him because obviously you don't have the other arm.
So the handcuffing
is that just for pain compliance? Like, what's the?
Yeah. So technically, what she should be doing. So you can imagine she's got her right hand holding his wrist, right? If you loop your left hand in underneath their armpit, you can grab both of your hands around their wrist in a... He would have to literally snap your forearm with like his delt to get out of it. She's only holding it with this arm and then maybe coming up from behind her arm, which is not a very strong position to be in. That makes it strength on strength, which you not want. Jiu-jitsu does a lot of... They have a lot... Even ASP training has some help with this. And ASP is like the bottom of the fucking barrel for training. It does work when you have somebody that clearly he was compliant enough for them to get here. But I'm going to be honest... He should have... The fact that they're in this position and don't already have him in handcuffs leads me to believe... And this is not America, so if you guys think this is American cops...
This is Montreal. This is Puffy's people. Shame on you, Puffy.
Shame.
This is what y'all are doing up there.
Shame.
But yeah, so I couldn't find a longer version of this. I looked up Montreal cop everything, and there wasn't. This was the only video I could find. I couldn't find anything earlier than that. To see like if he was already starting to resist or if he was like compliant up until
but either way,
like this 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like
Yeah.
in order to kind of mainly because I was looking at all the comments and of course all the comments are like, well, of course he was compliant until they tried to break his arm or whatever. And I was like, well, you don't know that because the video doesn't start there.
Sure. You know? Well, and again, compliant. If you were compliant, it wouldn't turn into that, to be honest.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask because we did the Leo lingo on the use of force ladder and what resistance looks like. I don't think people understand.
Yeah.
Like whether it's I think most people are expecting resistance to be I'm throwing punches, I'm doing whatever.
Yeah.
And then because that's always kind of the commentary. It goes from like, well, he wasn't resisting. Yet maybe to you it doesn't look like it's resisting. When you're actually trying to control the human being, that's a very different. Like it's different what it looks like versus what it is, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring in that video because there were a lot of comments of just basically he was totally chill until that point.
Hey,
then it's like nobody just decides to like randomly run or whatever.
Manifolds over here talking shit.
What's he saying?
He's saying that Canadian cops are better than my people, the Brits. Passive. So passive resistance, as what the comment is saying, is basically you're just not helping. Is passive resistance. Active resistance is anything that if you are pulling away, anything like that's going to be. You also have like verbal non-compliance where you just say "fuck you," I'm not going to do it, but like it has to escalate to something. It's more common to get. Like passive resistance, which just they're not going to help you. You have to physically move their arms into a place. Active resistance or active aggression is they're pulling away, they're shoving from you, they're still trying to get away from you. Assaultive resistance, obviously they're starting to assault you, and then there's deadly force, so on and so forth. Who's this Kamala police? That's what it looks like. No, it's not that. Hey, Bill's in the chat.
He said 4.
4. Do we have audio here? Oh, yeah, we do.
He actually puts his butt in his pocket.
Whoa.
So you dropped your ash on the ground? The ash? Yes, sir.
Oh, pick it up.
Can I get your ID, please?
It's ash.
It's a violation of law.
Do you know what the code is for that?
I can look it up. Why don't you give me your ID?
How is that litter? It's ashes.
The whole bag of cigarettes that was burnt. It was on the side of the road. Big pile of ash. Is it different because it's just one?
Is grass clippings littering?
So, okay, so this is a funny story, right? So, because this is actually relevant. So, Megan, my girlfriend, was clipping her toenails outside of a Cafe Brazil the other day because we were on the way to an event. It was open to.
Jesus Christ.
We were working an event.
I'm listening.
It was in a rush. She was like having to change the bat, whatever. Anyway, I was on the phone with her and she's like, I'm clipping my toenails outside the in my car outside the Cafe Brazil. And she was like, can you ask Josh, would this be considered littering? And so I await your answer.
Yeah, I would vote no, only because it's like not a like piece of trash. So now littering is very vague oftentimes. The statutes for littering is just going to simply say that it's something that has to be picked up. Like if it's like technically even an apple, despite the fact that it's biodegradable, could be considered littering depending on the context. Sometimes
you can be petty with it.
Well, sometimes if like let's say it won't fall into the elements of the offense for littering. In Texas, at least, I could sit there and say that it's criminal mischief. And the reason they'll say it's criminal mischief is it causes substantial inconvenience that somebody else now has to go out of their way to go do this. And it costs them a certain amount of money. So if I hire a biohazard team to deal with Megan's clippings, because this is technically a part of her body, right? And the fingernails tend to be notoriously, bacteria-ridden portion of the bite. It's not like it's an eyelash. This is a thing, right? Mm-hmm. You know how much it costs to hire a human waste cleanup crew or whatever? It's a lot. So if I go
allegedly,
well, I'm with you.
Allegedly,
I'm with you. So let's say I go through the whole trouble of hiring the people and I invoice. I can pull an invoice that says it's going to cost me this much money. Then I would charge them for that. For some odd reason, your camera keeps glitching.
Mine?
Yeah, I fixed it. I have to click on you to fix it. See, now, you're frozen.
Oh yeah, I saw it bouncing around on the stream. That was weird.
No, I'm clicking it to get it to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do keep freezing. That's weird.
So, but technically,
on my end.
Technically, you can make almost anything illegal depending on how vague the statute is. But
and you flick your ashes and say the wind never blew and the rain never rained. The big pile of ash from here to the bench, would that not be littering?
I think the time that we're spending talking about this is pretty ridiculous. I mean, we have 3 cops and someone.
One's human girlfriend.
Violation of Michigan littering law. But you don't know. Okay, I do not know the law. I have stopped multiple vehicles for that reason.
An ash out the window or a cigarette butt?
An ash.
Unreal.
You must be
We're
real bored.
helping you train your officers, right?
Okay, that dude looks like Megan's dad straight up.
Interdiction.
Not even gonna lie. He's just got shorter hair.
Yes, sir. An ash. Making some videos and stuff?
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that. So my issue, they're just using such a vague statute to try to get this guy hemmed up on something. Like you're saying that him flicking his ash is littering, which again, maybe you could articulate that, maybe, but it's a real big stretch. And if you're having to stretch, my personal rule was that if you don't have it, you don't have it. You should not have to stretch the law to get it to fit some way, because that's an abuse of power. If it's not expressly and reasonably articulated, again, this guy's dumping human waste, or he's, taking a bunch of shredded paper and dumping it on the street, fine. I think you have it all day long. But and even if he's do what?
Super waste of time for everybody involved.
Also. Oh yeah, dude. Not even
time, resources. Why do you need 3 cops to tell this dude to stop dumping? Just tell him to stop dumping his ash on the ground. Get an ashtray.
Yeah, it's. I don't really. I don't know. I don't get it. And what's frustrating to me is they know, they gotta know, that it's clearly a stretch, but they're doing it because they feel like they can get away with it, which I think is shadier. Mm-hmm. If you are so comfortable that you feel like you can get away with it, what else are they doing, Mm-hmm. No, Juan actually has a girlfriend. She is an artificial galaxy 2.0.
Oh my God.
Thank you for the like. I appreciate everybody that's liked it so far. Sorry, I got taken hostage by liberal. It's Michiganders. I learned that this weekend. I had to drive all the way to Michigan and then fly back, which is why I missed Tuesday.
Yes, y'all like the stream. We've got 17 people watching, but only 12 likes. So how dare you?
Hey, how dare you?
That math does not add up.
How dare
like
you?
The stream. You're in here like the stream.
So, but yeah, I think it's I think it's a shitty detention because if they're asking for his ID, it's a detention. So you're detaining him for putting his ash. Like that's a big stretch. I have taken marijuana, dropped it on the floor, and scraped it so that I didn't have to arrest somebody for possession. I destroyed it right then and there.
What if it was human ashes, like that one lady in Fort Worth that took her boyfriend's like mom's ashes and dumped them in a lake?
So there's specific statutes for human remains because it's not considered ashes at that point. They're considered human remains because there is, I think there's like a toxic byproduct that gets produced when you like incinerate a body because the fucking bones and all this kind of stuff. And I think they also have to use some sort of accelerant. And I don't remember what the accelerant is, but like you got to get it hot to burn, like to disintegrate bones. It gets like stupid hot. And so actually, it was really accurate. It's the movie, I think it's Mama or Mother or something like that. Basically,
Jennifer Lawrence?
No, not Jennifer Lawrence. It's a different one.
Okay.
But basically,
Mother.
this robot raises a child from birth.
I do know this one.
It's a great movie actually. But it was a really cool. So they had a furnace, but they didn't have an incinerator, and so the I guess kids that weren't perfect or whatever got incinerated. Spoiler alert. For anybody that doesn't want to watch the movie, but there were still bone fragments in there, and I'm like, well, that's accurate because the furnace would only get so hot because it's not designed to incinerate. So shout out to morbid shit I know for no good reason. Let's see. The only evidence is there's a crime. Josh is guilty. Damn, guilty. You can't prove shit. You have to go find it and scrape it up off of.
Allegedly. I'm going to put it in the pinned comment.
There it is. Allegedly. Shout out to police activity. Dashcam video shows police officers punching an armed teen while he resists arrest. Let me make sure that when I go full screen with this, y'all are seeing what I'm seeing. Yes, you are.
Teenagers are the worst.
Perfect. He probably deserved it. He was asking for it. We'll see what happens here.
On July 27th, 2022, an Oaklawn police officer conducted a traffic stop in the area of Southwest Highway and Austin Avenue.
This can't be our Oaklawn because it's not its own police force.
After a brief foot pursuit, the offender was apprehended. The subject refused to listen.
Oh,
that would just be Dallas PD.
You mind if I search you real quick? Sus. If that's part of your
Does
phrasing.
He mean frisk?
So if that's part of your phrase, so no, he meant search, and the reason why, and I guarantee he's going to go into his pockets. So I don't like the way this is phrased, and I'm a constitutionalist. While I was a cop, I was a constitutionalist. You're saying, do you mind if I search you? If you say no, I don't mind, like the negative of that consents to it, and the positive of that is it leads to more questions of, well, why do you have a problem with me searching you? And if you just say, well, I don't want you to, you kind of run into a problem. But if you just say, I might have something on me, now I have probable cause to search you. And that's what they're trying to lead them down that path, because your knee-jerk reaction to that's going to be like no, or if he says yes, he's going to say yes and get himself caught into a situation where he feels like he's compelled to tell the truth for a search that they don't have. I mean, technically it's just a traffic stop. I don't know what the traffic stop's for. And I get getting him. I have no problem with him extracting him from the vehicle. And if he refused, I have no problem with him yanking him out of this vehicle. And now that you're yanking him, he's resisting, so on and so forth. Maybe you can have a discussion there, right? But in general, I don't like hearing that, because I do think it's an abuse of Fourth Amendment rights, in my personal opinion.
Nobody else, right?
This is yep, that's a search.
Yeah, pockets, yeah.
You cannot. That's a search. So
State.
it's specifically, expressly in a frisk. There's a lot of case law around this. It is a cursory search, which cursory means on the outside of. Also, if you're going to search someone's back pockets, you do not do it grab ass style. That was. This is.
Well, it's Oakland, so.
Shout out to the TSA. Look at this here. This is.
Dude, that's.
My wife hasn't. My wife doesn't touch me like this.
Watching it, he'll make a thumbnail out of me going like.
This is sus. This is sus.
Super sus. I like Blankford saying the traffic stop is for ashing out of his window.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me at this point with how sketchy this has been so far.
So is he gonna then like do a whole like?
He might as well. He might as well. He might as well jerk him off at this point.
Reach up the shirt and everything. I mean, what's happening?
This is grounds for a lawsuit on sexual assault.
This is when you find out these are stripper cops and they're just here for the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Whose backpack is that back?
You reaching in there again?
Jesus.
He almost did he literally almost did the.
So what's crazy about this is at no point did he actually check.
Like they had to blur out that he took his took his wang out.
He at no point checked that guy's waistline. He was searching specifically for drugs. Frisk is not for drugs. A frisk is for weapons. That was a search. I would kick that shit. So if I was a defense attorney, and the reason I'm giving you a hard, so like I am, and again we say this all the time. I'm a pro good police channel. This is what we do here. I want good policing. This is terrible fucking policing. Because let's say this girl's a fucking kidnap victim, but you don't get to figure that out until you fucking arrest this guy because he's got some crazy shit in his car and you see it plain view or some bullshit or whatever. Then you get to put the drugs on him or the kiddie porn that these guys. Like, there's a chain of events that make this a non-poisonous tree, right? Plant good seeds of doing good investigative work where you're not abusing people's constitutional rights. And guess what? Good people have a higher likelihood of going and staying in jail versus this bullshit. Like
You mean bad people, not good people, go to jail?
Oh yeah, bad people go to jail. Sorry.
Yeah, he misspoke.
Yeah.
Hands on the car. Anything crazy on you?
What? That's what?
Do you have anything crazy on you?
He didn't even ask for consent. Nothing.
He said, "Is there anything crazy on you?" And he immediately dove for it.
Mm-hmm.
Hands up on the car for me.
I would say, yeah, your hands.
Stop running! Stop!
So, hear me out. In the state of Texas, at least, the charge for resisting is to resist a search, arrest, or seizure, not detention, right? So, as the passenger of a traffic stop, you are not detained. The driver's detained because you established probable cause for your detention on a moving violation. Ashes out the window, right? Mm-hmm. Depending on who did said ashes out the window, I can only detain that person because that's the crime that I have. I don't get to just go on some fishing expedition for everything. That's bad policing. I'm just telling you right now, like that's constitutionally bad policing. We don't get to just be some fucking Gestapo motherfuckers that run around digging in people's pockets. So when this guy fled, it's literally a meme now in the policing world. It's a scenario they run you through that if I'm stopping a car for a traffic violation and the passenger books it, do I run after him? They call it chasing the rabbit. Guy books it, I'm like, no, he's going for an impromptu jog. Now, if there's a reason to believe that this guy's got a gun in his hand or he's running or there was a bank robbery and this passenger might be part of that crime, then fine, knock it out. Go chase this guy until the wheels fall off. But like, when people say that there's like systemic problems or like bitch about, like, this is why.
Hey, there!
I want to see the body cam here. Bro, talk about some chill ass people here. I'd be gone, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm reading the description. It was just like, it doesn't say that they had him for anything other than just a traffic stop.
Why are we chasing this guy? What detail? He's an impromptu jog. An impromptu jog. Perfectly legal. Shout out to this guy, though.
Mm-hmm. For what? This dude's just after the butt. Like, first he's got to grab it, now he's got to punch it.
I want to make sure y'all can see this.
9-5, like, Victor, 9-5.
Y'all can't see this. Hold on. I'm going to move this so y'all can enjoy this bit of fuckery with us. There we go. I'm not trying to uncontextualize this footage. There it is. Now you can see what we're complaining about.
McVicker, next to McDonald's.
Absolutely.
And again, if it's to get him into handcuffs, I kind of get it, but this isn't a great technique to do it. You're doing nothing to actually reach for this guy's hands. Also, y'all are some grown-ass men. This is a skinny little 15-year-old or whatever, 17-year-old.
17-year-old, yeah.
I don't know, man.
And
here, you're still...
who you had no reason to chase, for that matter.
Yes, I can, mother. Put your hand behind your back. Do it now.
Here, pressure point, pressure point.
Put your hand behind your back. Do it now. Do it now.
They punched him in the face.
Because they punched him in the legs and they tased him. Jeez.
Got it.
Hey, shout out for the taser working.
Well, he
There's a good, yeah, there's a good takeaway here.
I mean, kind of working. It didn't like he moved and they didn't lock him up. But.
You can still move them while they're doing. They had their muscles don't work as well. Do we have any audio after this? No. Why does audio get killed here? It's him desperately pleading for first aid.
Probably.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
God, look at how big these guys are compared to this little fucker.
Mm-hmm.
Is this kid probably a shithead? Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Does this guy probably deserve to be sitting in jail somewhere for some reason? Probably. I'd be curious to see what their detention was for him.
So it says here that so he had the gun. He had the little baggie, and inside the baggie he had a 25 caliber gun with 3 rounds of ammunition.
How would they have known that?
Again,
under what? Yeah, Jesus. Is that the
like
charge?
That's like the most. Yeah, exactly. That's like the most. That's basically the reasoning they gave for what this was.
So that was the charge? Jesus Christ, dude. So I stopped a car for a moving violation. The passenger ran, and then I chased him, and then I punched him into submission, and then I found... I try real hard. I'm going to be honest. I try real hard to be pro-police. I do. I really do. And I want to be because I'm sure it's good for my brand of like only cops and shit like that. Y'all make it real fucking hard. Jesus Christ, dude. I was hoping the worst thing about this was going to be the fucking search.
The grab ass?
The grab ass search.
Little game of grab ass that he did? Yeah, no, this was...
Dude, a
lot of sketch going on here.
And is it UCW? Yes. Like, is that unlawful carry of a weapon? Yes. But you have to get there the right way. We are not the Gestapo. I'd protest.
So is this would you call this an easy lawsuit?
Oh, 100%. If whoever this 17-year-old shithead that probably deserved to get arrested and has probably done some shit in his life to deserve it sees this, my advice to you is to sue the pants off these idiots, because that's, oh my god, there's so many constitutional violations here. Like, and again, I've dealt with minors, I've dealt with the running, I've dealt with the shitheads doing stupid shit, but I caught them doing stupid stuff, and I could articulate a detention, and there was constitutionally founded reasons for me to detain and then frisk someone and then find something on the frisk or whatever the hell it was, or they resisted my search, which is perfectly good charge, right? And I wasn't. There's plenty of things you can look at, but I don't know. I have a huge issue now. If he had a detention on the guy for whatever reason, and he resisted that frisk, wholesale. I'm here for it. Well, do whatever, punch him in the face, whatever it is you gotta go do. Again, but you don't know any of that until you're already in it. I'd let that kid fucking go. Or, if you're smart, the articulation should have been, I was detaining him for pedestrian and roadway, and when I told him to stop, he fled, and was evading on foot. So I'm charging him with pedestrian and roadway. Misdemeanor in my presence. I can detain for that. So literally in the exact same scenario, I wouldn't be searching him because you don't have a search. Maybe you ask for consent before you start hand diving and butt fucking this guy with your hands or whatever. I don't know, man. I have big issues. I have big issues with this. Is there anything here that I need to address? Pain compliance. Sergeant. Jesus. Manifold, you're out of control. So what
And
about?
yes, so I do want to address on video because Caden mentioned that police activity did get demonetized, like fully demonetized. Their whole channel got demonetized by YouTube.
Yeah.
And I wanted to explain that because obviously everybody's going to kind of have their own conspiracy theories. But
sure,
I will say that it is a very legitimate thing that they would be, because more than likely most of their videos are videos like this, videos of shootings, videos of whatever. It's all FOIA requests of, for one thing, they're probably getting a lot of copyright flags or copyright strikes potentially from other channels that are also posting the same thing. YouTube doesn't want to deal with that. The other thing is most of this is not family friendly. We got this is for mature audiences right beforehand. Brands don't want to touch that. Anything that is 18 plus, they don't want to touch. And so more than likely after they post, it'll be monetized for like a day or two. In order to get it monetized in the first place, they probably had to lie in their review rating that it wasn't, what it was. And so it's like after you get, if 99% of your videos are going to be reviewed and then demonetized, YouTube's just going to demonetize your channel. Yeah. I mean, it's just going to happen. That's literally why we also make Officers React. It's why we do gaming streams. It's why we do a variety of content on our channel, because we know our Thursday streams will not be monetizable in any way outside of super chats.
Yeah.
Ever.
So
they're not advertiser friendly at all.
And to address, so Pamela, she had a pretty good comment here. Shout out Pamela, welcome to the stream. Yes, technically when you're suing the police department, you're suing the city, and ultimately your 5 cents to that whatever goes to the police department, it's coming out of that budget, right? And that's going to stop us from fixing roads and stop us from fixing all this other stuff. And I'm with you that's an important delineation that we have to have. And this is why we're having these conversations about how to be good cops and how to not violate people's constitutional rights, because I think protecting individual liberties is more important than city budgets, in my personal opinion. And I think a lot of these problems come out of these are recruiting issues. These are people getting promoted that are incompetent. These are city managers that are getting voted on because they're better at convincing people to vote for them than actually being qualified to do it. But as far as police having qualified immunity for this, I don't think they do, to be honest. It wasn't a lawful arrest. And the second they kick the charge, you lose qualified immunity. So
because qualified immunity only applies if you are following the constitutional protections.
Yep. If I can get the charge to stick, so if in the commission of a felony you run into an officer and that officer punches you in the face so hard that you have brain damage, right? You're like, hey, well, that's fucking unreasonable. Like, I want to sue this police officer because he punched me in the face super hard. Well, the charge of the felony of robbing of the bank, if that's legit and we can adjudicate that the officer had reasonable suspicion to believe that you were the person that did it, and then had probable cause to believe that you were trying to flee or harm a third person, XYZ. Again, in the same way that citizens, the gas station lady or dude fucking shot a dude's arm off because, a guy pointing an AR at me telling me give me the money gives me reasonable suspicion to believe, or probable cause to believe, that he is threatening my life and trying to rob my store. Perfectly, that store clerk is committing aggravated assault, if not attempted murder, by shooting at this bank, this robber, right? His qualified immunity comes in that he was in the defense of himself. He was preventing a violent felony. Qualified immunity for police officers is no different than qualified immunity for citizens. The only difference is that officers have a duty to intervene versus citizens do not, unless you're the victim. And in certain states, even that doesn't count. There's certain states where it's stupid. Where, like, if someone's, when you have a duty to retreat, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I think in a public place, it makes a little bit more sense. Like, we're not going to play the right-of-way game of who gets to sit on that sidewalk more than the next person. I think that's stupid. And I'm just going to hold you both liable if you can't fucking navigate social discourse without violence. But inside of your own home, fuck around and find out. I'll always be team that. Don't do that stuff. Brady Blue, what's going on? I've seen you in the comments recently. I reply to those. So I know this. Would make a fighting cop game. That would be hilarious.
That would be.
Mortal Kombat 2011 story mode. That's funny. Were you going to say one?
Oh, no, I was going to say, so I downloaded, do you remember RPG Maker? From way back when?
Yeah.
They have like newer versions of it now. I downloaded it because I was like, I wonder if I could make like a dumb little cop game.
Shout out to Juan.
For like our Discord, and then I started trying to do it. It's so much different than it used to be.
I bet.
And everything's like you have to pay for download packs and stuff. And I'm like, I think I'm just gonna try and find the way old one that I used to use. Like I think it was RPG Maker 2000. Tried out that because I knew how to do that. But anyway, there is a neat like Pokemon cop game. You have to download it from like kind of a sketchy site, but it was pretty fun. I played it. I tried to get Josh and Bill to play it on stream, and they were like, "We're not putting that on our computers. We're gonna get viruses." I was like, "Whatever."
Welcome to our Thursday stream.
It was basically like Pokemon mechanics, but policing. It was really fun.
So, anyways, Pamela, I'm glad I got to answer your question. If you have any more, go ahead and put them in the chat. I try to read that as we go. We have 3 more videos to go through, and then I think we have exhausted our list. This is a special shout out to everyone that's thanked the chat. Or thanked the video. I appreciate that.
Like the video.
Like the video. Sorry. Like the video.
Yes. We should have a thank you button.
Yeah, thank you button. Anyways, this stuff gets super demonetized, so please like it so at least some people can see it and maybe our channel can grow, because that is the best case scenario that we can get. If you super like us, you can join our Patreon. It's as little as $1 a month. That gets you access to our Discord, and our Discord is how we figure out what videos we want to go see. And it also gives you 24-hour access to answer random legal questions or to talk shit to us for free, or for $1 or whatever.
Not for free.
Not for free.
That's why we pay.
That's why we pay. You can talk shit to us.
You have to pay money to do that.
Okay. Suspects tries to hide. Let's see. Let me see if I can keep Juan from like glitching.
Stuttering.
Yeah,
I'd look fine on the stream. I'm watching it.
Oh, as long as you look good on the stream, that's fine. I'll stop messing with it.
I think so. Maybe.
I really enjoy your channel, and
or maybe not now. I see myself frozen.
Yeah, you get frozen periodically. So,
that's weird.
Pamela, I really appreciate you stopping by. Stuff like that matters to me. It makes me happy, and it makes this easier because, like I said, I cut into Juan's sleep schedule, and I literally have been on my computer since 8 o'clock this morning, and I went from my work computer to this computer to do this. So shout out. Suspects tries to hide and I'm just gonna play this. Shout out to police.
Oh, it's Step Bro.
It's Step Bro.
Step Bro shows up to get him.
Oh, I gotta give you guys audio.
Sent to the area to investigate a report of an aggravated assault. A security guard made the 911 call and said he was working nearby and recognized a man that was banned from the property he was guarding. When he got out of his car to talk to him, he noticed the man had a gun. The security guard said he got back in his car and saw the man point the gun at him and walk away. The security guard started to follow him and called police. Here's the 911 call placed by the security guard.
Phoenix 911, where is your emergency?
I need an officer to assist me with this person who pointed his fire.
She asked simply, where is your emergency? God bless Dispatch, dude. I give Dispatch a lot of shit, and that's where my 10-9 joke comes from. And you'll start to see the vein pop out in my forehead when people 10-9 me in the chat. Blank Forge, I'm looking at you. But they got a hard job. I don't envy them.
Okay. What is the name of the business or the property that you're out there? Are you on security guards there?
Yes.
And this person pointed a gun at you, or what did they point at you?
Yeah, he pointed his pistol at me.
Show your hands right now! Come on out, let's see your hands, man, right there!
Okay, so if Ready or Not has taught me anything, this is sketch mode.
That's when somebody walks in front of your gun.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Hands out! Hands out now! Give me your hand! Show me your hand! Hands!
That was a 40 mark, Mike. Okay, I was like, wow, that was.
Yeah, I thought that was he was a pistol at the back of that dude's head.
That was
like the shield.
That was not a non-lethal.
Here is a different view that was captured by a surveillance camera in the stairwell. The suspect is holding a gun in his right hand and a cell phone and backpack in his left hand. The suspect can be seen looking through a small window on the stairwell door.
Oh, it's very much a gun.
He opens the door and points the gun down the hallway where officers are standing. This is when the officer-involved shooting occurs.
That's a big gun.
Very much a gun. My guy. This is a Smith & Wesson SD40 VE, probably. Let's bet.
All right, nerd.
Nerd.
Brady, we'll answer your question in a second.
We'll get to it here. Dude, ow! Dude, really? These guys are being really cool.
Throw it out. Drop it. Throw the gun out now. Drop the gun. Don't try to get out. Drop the gun.
We'll need weapon cameras. Oh, hell yeah.
This guy gets an
He's
A++
stuck.
on his body-worn camera footage here. He gets a straight A+. One, give it to him.
A+. Would have been S if he held his arms a little higher.
Yeah.
But oh, there he goes, a little bit better. Then he blocks it with the arm. Whatever. They're learning. That's all that matters.
Drop it. Just keep crawling out. Keep crawling out. Keep coming. Keep coming.
I tell you what.
The audio on this is sus.
Yeah, no kidding. This
Blackboard's gonna have a field day.
This guy's got like two. I didn't think about it. Yeah. This
Keep coming.
Get out of the washer. Crawl out of the washer.
I can't. I'm stuck.
These 870s have like a 2-pound trigger. Like this guy's a few seconds, less than 2 pounds away from having a very bad day.
Don't reach back. Don't reach back. There you go. Just keep crawling out, dude. No. All right, crawl back to us. Lay down. On your stomach, dude.
On your belly. On your belly.
He's so
He was
drunk.
taken into custody and transported to a local hospital for injuries caused by the less lethal projectiles.
I bet he was. Shout out to those officers for taking him into custody. He shot at him, and
That was Phoenix. That's Bill's favorite department.
Shout out to wow, that's not what we're going for. Yeah, shout out to Phoenix for doing all that nonsense. That's pretty hard to do. And that to have not just the courage but the skills and the equipment to go and take that guy into custody alive. Shout out to them with no bloodshed. That's a win. Okay, Brady. I love suggesting stuff, but I'd like to ask something. When a bad cop gets caught doing a crime, does the justice system have a way to stop that bad cop from getting hired? It's called convicting him of a crime. If you were convicted of, I think it's a Class B misdemeanor or higher, you can't work anywhere. Like, no one's going to take you. If it's like PI, maybe you're lucky, but typically that's like a Class C. Or if it's like a moving violation, like speeding or something like that. On the Class C, they'll sometimes have like a cool-off period for that. Some places will let you do like a Class B misdemeanor, like imagine like fighting in public or breach of the peace or something like that. But like a Class A in Texas or higher, this is going to be domestic violence, so on and so forth. You get convicted of that stuff, your career's done, or it should be. If there's places that aren't adhering to that standard of hiring, go fuck y'all, because this is the reason why we have problems. But typically that's how it happens. Same thing with substance abuse. Although, is it Dallas that lets you do heroin now? I don't remember who it was. They Houston?
That was California. That was Chris telling us that in California, they're
you can do heroin and
now as long as you haven't done it like recently. Basically, it was like I think it's like 2 years or something like that. Which I remember it being a way too short of a time for the level of drug that they were talking about. I was like, you are not. I'm sorry. In 2 years, you are not clean from heroin.
Heroin?
You are still very much working on it.
Sus.
But I will say, so I think part of the confusion where that's concerned is there is a difference between disciplinary action, so just being fired for something. You would have to be convicted of a crime, and that's different than maybe you committed a crime, the DA declined to charge you for it, or there's also levels to it of things that might be a crime for you aren't a crime for a police officer, even if it wasn't within policy, or even if it was egregious, or even if it was whatever.
And in a lot of instances, like a perfectly good example of this, if someone tried to kill me, right? And in doing so, I yelled motherfucker at him, right? While shooting him, that's a violation of policy. I could absolutely get written up for saying motherfucker while shooting at somebody, and they could terminate me for that. Say conduct unbecoming of an officer, we're firing you. There's not a single attorney that gives two shits about what's leaving your mouth while someone's actively trying to kill you. But as a police officer, it's going to be very different. And I think a lot of instances, and Pamela brought this up about qualified immunity, I think where it gets abused is in these instances where officers are having some sort of misconduct that gets tied to them while they're in the commission of their duties. The DA's office is pretty cool about it. You know, the judge is really cool about it because it's a fucking small town and everybody knows, oh, I don't want to let Jim Bob, get convicted. So they won't convict him of it. And so even though this was something egregious, and it's not even under it's like not even qualified immunity. It's just like cop privilege is really what it turns into.
Professional courtesy.
Yeah, but like in the worst way. Well, you know, it's you pull over a judge and you don't ticket him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna tell you what. Like, if you earned getting pulled over from me, cop, no cop, whatever, I was at least, hey, I'm gonna run your shit. Dude, sorry, sucks to suck. Don't do stupid shit in my city because it's still my city. I'm still just as equally. I'll equally offend anybody that's there because that's my job. And so I didn't ticket anyone, to be honest, so I gave professional courtesy to everybody I interacted with. If you earned it from me, you really fucked up. Like I said, I think it was like a 2% enforcement rate that I had on tickets. It was pretty low. You
had to really deserve it.
I got a real talking to. And mostly is if I really felt that nothing else was going to change your behavior, or I felt that some level of punitive damage had to be levied against you because that's how egregious it was, then I would levy a ticket. Typically, if I was citing somebody, I was already taking them to jail. This was just extra sauce on top. Cop by day, cameraman by night, manifold. Jesus. Rocky Johnson, what's going on, my guy? Blank Forge is probably still salivating over that audio, saying this is sus. Shout out to everybody that's here. We have 21 concurrent viewers. We should have likes. Shout out to that.
We do have 21 likes, so good job, Chad.
Shout out to everybody that's out there.
Very proud of you.
I appreciate everybody that stopped by.
Your dads are proud of you.
Yeah, LAPD has an ace crack shot shooters, actual crack dam living in
the highlight out there.
Let's see. Bodycam shows cops. Oh, of course, this is an OIS. It's the dollar store. Why are you offending at the dollar store? This is supposed to be a safe place for us all. This
dollar store is sacred, damn it.
Store located on South New Road in Pleasantville. At approximately 9:37 a.m., a Pleasantville police officer responded to the Dollar General and discovered 37-year-old Jaleel Whitted inside the store with a handgun protruding from his right pocket. As additional officers arrived, Whitted walked toward the officers and refused to follow directions to stop and drop to the ground, at which time Whitted said to the officers, "Shoot me."
That's consent.
The officers attempted to de-escalate the situation by backing away and allowing Whitted to exit the store and stand on the front sidewalk. Whitted then reached for and placed his hand on the handgun in his right pocket, at which time 5 police officers discharged their duty firearms.
Yes, I just called you. How many shots has anybody been injured? And what is there people, I would assume?
So what was the initial call for?
I think it just had his gun sticking out of his
just jumped in
pocket.
his car and tried to steal it. What's he look like? He's a black male wearing all black. He has, I don't know. He's not mentally stable, I would assume, but he literally just jumped in his car and tried to steal it. What's he look like?
This is a criminal trespass, I guess, maybe? Guys did a fantastic job here. Love your honesty. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Man, no one can hurt me now. I get to be honest. So they can't hurt me now. See if I can unfreeze one.
Let's see. Read the description. See what that says. I was trying to find it. Let's see what it's
I just want to see.
Oh, I found it. Hang on. Let me see.
Pleasantville. It says what they put in there.
No description.
It's just a person with a gun protruding outside of their thing. The 911 call complained about some other stuff, but
black male wearing
okay, because I heard something about like they tried to steal my car or something.
Something, yeah.
I'm on the phone with the cop. And he tried to jump in someone's car? Yeah, the guy is still right here. Yeah, he jumped in the car. The guy ripped him out of his car. Absolutely did.
Okay. Well.
I have it on camera.
Well, attempted robberies.
And that's, yeah.
And he's like, he's
What's
scaring
your
everybody.
What's your name?
Lori?
Thank you, Lori.
Okay.
I found an article about it. It says they responded to the Dollar General store after reports of a shooting inside the store. So I guess somebody else also called and said there was a shooting going on.
Great body cam footage. A plus
Yes,
plus.
This is solid. This is why I'm here to judge the camera footage.
Anybody was shooting here? Put your hands up.
They are up.
So just, this is not a criticism of this officer. However, once I realize I'm in a use of force situation and I'm going to be doing some gunplay, distance is your friend. A good way to buy yourself time from having to make a decision like right now is to step away from this guy. I know he's trying to detain him, but you're not doing that by yourself at gunpoint. That's just my 2 cents here.
No, why would he? Wait. But why would he have to do that when he could just pop on his back?
Jesus
With his hands up
Christ.
like this.
Or you know what? But lay on his back and put his feet up. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
If y'all don't get this joke, this whole thing that happened
Just
earlier.
go to the beginning.
Just go to the beginning of this. This whole thing that we've been criticizing about if somebody's attacking you with a weapon to fall on your back and use your feet. It's stupid, but.
Keep your hands up.
One in custody, 938.
Wait, I'm making sure y'all are seeing this. 'Cause I had to move the camera earlier. Let me just.
Yeah, it's a little big.
Let me shift this.
Shrink it down to the right size.
Let me shrink it. I'm trying to give you look at this production value, baby, or production quality. At least y'all see it. It's a little off-centered, but it's fine. Y'all get to see the whole thing.
Keep your hands up.
Sorry, one in gunpoint, 938.
Looks like a fake gun in his pocket.
So you don't know that it's fake. Don't say that. But I want to show you guys the look on this guy's face. I've seen this maybe 10 times in my life. This is what they call the 1,000-yard stare. This is probably the best body cam footage I've seen ever of the 1,000-yard stare.
Keep your hands up.
Sorry, one in gunpoint, 938.
Looks like a fake gun in his.
So when someone, the reason I point this out is when someone is finally committed to something that they believe is going to be deadly, your brain actually prioritizes what's happening. And the 1,000-yard stare is, a perfectly still, almost flat affect, because your body stops thinking about anything and everything else except for the violence you're about to commit. It sounds silly. I don't know that it's going to stand up in court very well, but it's a very good demonstration of what that looks like. That is what we'd call a pre-attack cue, boys and girls.
Mm-hmm. Go watch our Leo Lingos.
Yes.
We talk about it.
We talk about this.
I don't know if I uploaded them to YouTube, but
no.
They're on TikTok.
Yeah.
Stop! Shoot! Stop! Shoot! Stop! Stop!
That's consent.
Stop!
I will say this is one of the very few times that I'm Team Taser. Because you have lethal cover, I do hear a second officer's voice. That second officer should be taser, 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 and try it. The jacket's gonna create some problems, but this t-shirt's weak sauce, and as long as
for the belly.
as long as these pants are relatively thin, he should be fine.
Finally created some distance. Good.
They're also trying to corner him from getting anywhere else. It's actually pretty good tactics.
They're doing that like.
Yeah, it's called triangulating. It's
you
actually
go.
pretty good tactics here. And I do actually like that this officer is peeling over to his left because he's trying to make this brick wall his backstop. He's anticipating if I have to get into shooting that I'm not just cranking these things off to like that neighborhood that's over here. Distance is your friend until you have to use a handgun and try to shoot at somebody that's moving. Then it becomes not your friend. So do you hear how really amped up one of those guys' voice? There's one that's yelling, just don't reach, don't reach. And one, it's like screaming. And we talk about this we got actually a really good education on this about your prefrontal cortex and your corpus callosum. And when you're under stress, your prefrontal cortex is what helps you make decisions. It's how you do critical thinking and all that stuff. When adrenaline just gets smack dumped into your brain, that thing turns off. And your corpus callosum, your corpus callosum takes over. And at your corpus callosum, if you look at a brain scan, it's this little, it looks like a little hood, like a little alien hood that's sitting in the very, very center of your brain. It thinks very simply. I mean, you start to lose fine motor skills. You start to, you get stuck in feedback loops because your brain can't figure out why the thing that's supposed to be happening is not happening. It's literally, if you think about it with like children, they'll keep grabbing the stove that's hot and not understand why it's burning. That's how bad when you start to lose, when you're not used to stress, and it is not a criticism on this officer. It's just you can hear it in his voice that that's what's occurring, and he's yelling the same thing over and over and over and over, as opposed to, "Hey, what's your name? Hey, what you're doing?" He's yelling. The guy can hear him. He doesn't need to yell that loud. But all of this is indicative of his corpus callosum telling him, make sure you tell him, and make sure you tell him as often. Also, fuck whoever left their siren on. That makes communicating way harder. You don't need to know. That doesn't need to be on. There you go.
On the ground. Please. Sir, listen. It's not worth it. It's not. Just get down.
Good de-escalation.
Just drop to your knees, sir, please. No, please. We don't want to do it. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do it. Stop! Stop! Please! Please! No. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Okay, you gonna drop the phone? No. No, stop! No, please.
Now they're at a taser range too, and you cannot approach this guy. I'm team not approaching this guy at this point. Shout out to beanbag shotguns though. This would be a good time for that.
Yeah. Third officer over there on the right.
Yeah.
What should he be doing? Is he doing?
So you'll notice, and we Crossbow Boy is actually a really good example of this. If I can mine this body camera footage that I had on my old phone, I'll show it to you guys one of these days, and probably get a very angry cease and desist from my former police department, but they can go shove it because they can't hurt me now. Notice that all of this guy's attention is on the primary officer whose body cam we're seeing, and the officer to his left. He is currently unseen. And so if there was anybody that was going to stand a snowflake's chance at hell at using a less lethal, and also because his backstop, you notice he's looking left to right here, his backstop's going to be, again, a neighborhood, which is not who you want to be doing it. He would have to be brave to go do this, might go in here and try to sneak around this truck and do a real quick taser deployment to see if they could get, because if they can get lock up and get this guy to fall over, they have time to run in and disarm this guy. If it works, if they get lucky, if the guy takes a total wanted lucky shot, he might be able to do it. It's not optimal, but this is the really only thing that he can contribute. I think where he's standing is not a great spot to be providing lethal cover, especially given you have two officers already providing that, and their backstop's a lot better than yours. You can't so at best, he might be able to get to the front of this. You'd hide behind this engine block, pop out really quickly, and try to deploy a taser. That's the best you got. You could, right now that he doesn't have the gun in his hand, be real stupid and try to tackle this guy while the gun's still in his pocket. It's a big risk. I don't know that if I'm a supervisor, like let's say I'm Sergeant Josh right now, I don't know that I'm asking that officer to do it. If he takes it upon himself to do that, I'd at least give me a fucking heads up, But I think it's an unrealistic ask out of that officer because I'm putting a lot of unnecessary risk on him. And the second he does it, his lethal cover can no longer provide adequate lethal cover the second he tackles him. They're going to have to run up to him and try to shoot him point blank. And that's not, none of that. This turns it into a 3-on-1 into a 1-on-1. And that's not what you want. So really, taser, maybe a pepperball gun would be a really good thing to use here because you could pepperball gun him and now approach him because he can't see. He could at best fire blindly at you if he really did get around to getting at the gun. Beanbag shotgun makes a lot of sense here. But there's a couple things you could use. You're just not approaching this guy because he could potentially cause an immediate deadly threat. Let me look at the chat real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Alec, they should take the L at this point. Jesus. None of my departments had beanbags. Mine had them. Patrol did not have access to them. It's not fake. It's a high point. Shout out to the high point. It will look fake, but it's very much a yeet cannon.
No. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Okay, you gonna drop the phone?
Yeah, bro, this one officer is killing it in de-escalation. And de-escalating just means he's trying to lower the stress. He's trying to open up a form of communication. This is actually what de-escalation looks like. It's being done at the end of a gun, but this is what de-escalation looks like. Try to make a connection. Try to get this guy's mind off of fighting with cops and guns. Let's see if we can reach him, because maybe they're able to identify that he's MHMR or something, that he's going under something acute. This is actually pretty good tactics here.
No, stop! No, please. Stop. Please, stop, please. All right. Okay. That's a good spot.
So now this officer needs to move. So right now, this guy's got cover behind this engine block, and the officers don't. So I am team actually these guys wheeling over to the left, but this officer over here on the right's gonna have to back himself out because he doesn't want to be a backstop. You don't ever want to be a backstop in a gunfight. But that's incumbent on this third officer, not these first two.
It's on the floor. It's on the floor. Don't reach. On your stomach.
This guy.
Yeah. Hey man, he's participating, okay?
Shout out to these guys. Okay, so my only issue with him, and I'm glad these guys are approaching because this guy needs aid if he did get hit. You need to, now that is not the time for waiting. You're already in a gunfight. Get in the gunfight, win it, and control the guy. You need to have a hands person. The second you're approaching him, you need to be taking this gun and physically holding it. Like, you don't kick it just to let it hang out. This guy could very easily get into a scrum with you, or he, just like we saw with the idiots at the gas station, can get up and go grab the gun. You want to secure the weapon. You also want to be securing this guy and putting him in handcuffs so that you can safely render aid, have the scene be secure, go ahead and bring EMS with the real professionals as far as medical stuff's concerned. Also, with this many officers hanging out in front of you, this does not need to be out.
That was going to be my comment.
Yeah, so with him, the reason why this is happening is he was the one screaming. His prefrontal cortex is still not kicked in. And it takes a minute. I guarantee you, and again, he just did get in a shooting. So, like, again, I'm not trying to criticize this officer. It's a very normal response to stress. But this is what happens when you don't have a lot of, you're not given time to swim or tread water in stress. You're just kind of dumped in it. This is what happens. He's currently painting everybody here.
And I'm hoping we see one of these other officers come up and, like, tell him to just chill out. Right now, he's flagging everybody.
Yeah. Shout out to this guy for securing the gun, but it does not need to lay on the floor here. Let's take this to a car. Let's take this now. And again, this is bad training. There's no protocol for this. These guys are having to make it up as they go. It's indicative that they're making it up as they go because they have no, there are no SOPs. When you have SOPs, you do what your SOPs are because you do them all the time. They're standard operating procedures. These guys are having to make it up, and clearly they're all under a lot of stress. This is a very stressful situation for these officers. So, like, they're all experiencing that prefrontal cortex. And again, it's a shooting. This is an appropriate time for it to happen. But, like, again, this guy has no reason to have his gun out. It takes one ND, and he's probably doing way worse than tasing another officer. Why is he just leaving it there? So you hear he's So, check him.
There it is. Yeah.
There it
thank
is.
you.
Check him.
Please just
Holster
hand on
up.
shoulder. Tell him to holster. Yeah. There it is. There it is.
That's good, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause he definitely needs that.
Yeah. And that wasn't a supervisor. Shout out to that. This is a senior officer knowing what's up. Shout out to that guy. So this is called a buddy system. This is actually really good. See, SOPs are in place here. He automatically has made himself the buddy, and he says, "This officer is not my problem." And in a bad way, but he's saying, "I need to be here for this guy because this guy has just experienced a very traumatic event. Let me protect him from himself." A fucking sergeant doesn't even have their vest on. Jesus Christ, dude. Anyways, whatever.
Take a seat, bro. You good? Take a seat. Take a seat, bro. Ev, sit down, bro. Look at me. Ev.
It's good. It's really good.
Sit down, bro.
Who is going code? This, I guarantee you, this is EMS. I guarantee this is EMS.
Alright, sit down. You're good, bro.
Yeah, that's EMS. I recognize the horn. Captain's already here.
Damn.
Get earpieces. I hate people. Oy. Shout out to the mic loop. My guy.
But he do got that camera angle, though. He do got that camera
A plus
angle.
on that.
I'm proud of him.
This is good after. Now, again, hopefully they're doing aftercare measures for old boy that just got shot here. But this is really good. This is indicative of what should be happening during an officer involved. Should also happen in a fight. Yeah, think about it. Like, again, this person just had a traumatic event that's happening. Let's go check on these officers to protect them from themselves.
That was the one in the chamber, I think. Okay. You okay? You good? You're good. You're good. All right? You're good.
These bots are out of control.
Today, yeah. Damn, y'all slow. Wow.
They're freaking poofy. We're educating.
Yeah.
People are learning things right now.
Just turn around.
I think there's the second officer's body cam.
Back up, back up. Sir, we do not want to shoot you. Let's get it.
Okay. I'm here, and I'm tracking that this guy's taking over communication, and you should only have one communicator. This is still very much a deadly threat. So you're either shit or get off the pot. You need to be pointing this gun at this dude or not. Like, there's no happy medium. I'm cool with the Sewell position, which is what he's demonstrated. He's lefty, or wrong-handed as I call him.
Oh, okay.
So this is he's left-handed, and the Sewell position. If I have a bunch of guns here. So no, that's what I mean. So that's the purpose of the Sewell position is to not be pointing it at somebody. So like my problem with it is he needs to be pointing it or not. And if he doesn't feel like he needs to point it at somebody, holster it. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I am not angry at the tactics. I'm angry at how they're being utilized.
Good backdrop. Right here in this brick wall.
Good.
Brick wall, good backdrop. Sir, stop. Please.
He's doing a good job. He actually got him to move. Shout out to this guy. He's doing all the things right. Punch your damn gun. Stop it.
Stop. Sir, stop.
No, I do think so. He's doing.
Sir, stop it. Do not reach. Stop. You don't want to do.
See, now he's pointed, which I'm happy with. But
Yeah. So I think he's doing a great job. I think the OODA loop guy was counterproductive in that de-escalation.
I could see that.
Because every time this dude's getting this guy to kind of maybe calm down a little bit, bring the tension down a little bit, and then the other guy's like,
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're basically taking everything he just did and just ramping it all the way back up. And I feel like that's not particularly helpful. It's like maybe just let him handle it.
Yeah.
And you just keep your lethal cover.
Yeah. Shout out to Jacob. Thank you for the super chat. He said, "Fire only Putin didn't find
a girl with us." That's what the bot said. It said only Putin didn't find a girl with us.
Is that really what it says?
That's what the bot said.
Jesus. Somewhere out there in the deep, nasty crevices of the internet, there's like Xi Jinping and Nancy Pelosi somewhere there. Google it.
Mm-hmm.
Alec, yes, I'm also with you that somebody needs to get on the radio.
Don't Google that. Don't tell people.
We're all adults here. Okay, the only thing I will say is your backdrop is propane tanks right now. It's just kind of shady. Yeah. I didn't notice that till now. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, somebody was dropping ashes on the floor, and I don't know why they're dealing with this guy when clearly they should be
Real crime.
trying to figure out
Real
who
crime.
littered.
Real crime, baby.
Yeah.
Reach! All right, listen, I'm gonna do it. No.
See, now he's treating it like a deadly threat. Shout out to this guy.
That's a good spot. Gotcha.
Look at this department allowing tattoos.
Dang, he went to slide lock. Dang. So yeah, this guy actually had his head in a really good spot. I liked that he was getting them to move. I liked that he was helping his primary officer before he started yelling at this guy. So I am glad with that. The shooting's unfortunate, but this guy really didn't give much of a chance. Having a yeet cannon on your hip is not a good way to do it. My fear here is that he had some MHMR issues just given his behavior, that or he was intoxicated with something. His behavior is not indicative of some guy just trying to go suicide by cop, to be honest. And this is where, and this is probably just unique to my experience specifically in policing, is we saw this a lot. And there was a lot of times where we were lucky enough to kind of get to them early. So at least they weren't getting access to guns and crazy stuff like that. But also like providing services that are just, hey, let's get him a sponsor. Let's get him plugged into some programs that kind of keep them off the street and doing this kind of stuff. What happens is gangs will recruit guys like this to just kind of be miscreants. And they're the ones that gave him the gun. They're the ones that give him enough cash in his pocket to be mobile. And he's Ubering to this Dollar General. And because he's given a gun and is pumped up with all these ideas of being a gangbanger, he does, in his mind, what gangbanging is. And unfortunately, this is what it is. I actually saw this more often than you'd think. It's actually really sad. Because left to his own devices, I guarantee you the guy, if this is the case, I don't know in this situation. This guy could be a shithead for all I know. But there were instances, Demetrius Duffy was a guy I dealt with all the time. And when I first interacted with him, he was just a guy that had MHMR issues. And by the end of it, he was so cracked out of his mind. He went from this huge, like, very in shape, young, like 19-year-old guy. And by the time he got to like 20, 22, like he looked awful. Like he went from like 250 to like 150 pounds. And he would randomly, I would always catch him. He would go into Walmart. He would just pick up one thing and he would shoplift it every time. But Walmart didn't care and I didn't care. What the hell fruit was it? It wasn't Fruity Pebbles. It was no, not the Trix one. It's the chocolate one. It's Reese's Puffs, like the chocolate, the cereal. He would get this and he would eat it. And that's all he would do.
Breakfast.
He would walk in, take that one box, and leave with it. And yeah, people would call in on him all the time, and Walmart didn't want to do anything, and I didn't want to do anything with him. I felt bad for the guy, but he was surrounded by a lot of people like this, and at times, like it would get a little out of hand, and he would get hopped up on stuff. But it's really frustrating to see because, like, if he could just provide resources, like a lot of times we can avoid a lot of that stuff. And it was one of the harder parts of the job that they don't tell you about in recruiting is having to watch people deteriorate like that.
Trash mental health infrastructure in this country.
Oh yeah, dude. What? And it like I don't want to point the finger at any one group of people, but we can point it at politicians because they're ultimately responsible for the budget. We're paying hand over. We pay more taxes than any other place on the planet. We facilitate the largest spending budget that's ever existed in the history of man. And yes, we have a very big population, but I feel like we could be doing more. Anyways, Mesa, of course, is another fucking OIS. Shout out, thank you to our super chat.
Discord wants.
Yeah, thank you to Jacob for providing some bit of monetization for the 3 hours of Juan and I's time, and Juan giving up some hours of sleep.
Few years off my life, but it's okay.
But if you'd like to support us, like I said, we do have a Patreon group. It's as little as $1 a month that gives you access to our Discord, and our Discord is the one that actually provides most of this stuff. They want us to give a hot take or at least something educational on this, and that's what we try to do. We try to provide this once a week. We do it every Thursday, and on Tuesday we have Tactical Tuesdays, of which I will never miss again because I get BB whacked for it. So, anyways,
if you haven't watched our Tactical Tuesday this week, you should go watch it.
It's pretty awesome.
I had to take over because Bill and Josh weren't here.
Yes. And the AI decided to be merciful and be better for them.
Yes.
I think most departments start to allow beards and tattoos. 23. Yeah, mine didn't until this last year. So on sleeve. We're getting there. We're almost done. Oh, then I got to hang out with my wife.
24th, 2022. Mesa police officers patrolling on East University Avenue witnessed a man jaywalking in the street and nearly get hit by a car. Officers stopped the man, identified as 54-year-old Paul Newman. As Newman squatted down by the chain link fence, the officer noticed a bulge on Newman's right side. He alerted the other officer who was with him. The first officer approached Newman as the second officer remained several feet back. The officer told Newman that it looked like he had a gun and pointed to his right side. Newman reaches with his right hand to his rear waistband and starts to stand up. The first officer was standing right next to Newman and reaches for Newman's hands while asking Newman what he has. Newman reaches with both hands towards his waistband and pulls out a handgun and fires one round.
Jeez, dude.
That's when the second officer shot back.
Sketch.
You take a seat right here, man. We're talking to you because you jaywalked, man. You almost got hit. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh. Okay, that is not a kind of a, that is absolutely a gun. Wow. Yeah. Okay. I get why they were pretty, oh my God, blank. I can't with you. This better be 4K. Oh, I'm going to double check to see if I can't squeeze as much quality as I can out of this.
That's going to be 1080p. That's it.
Yeah.
So 4K is
it's a
kind
myth.
of a misnomer.
It's a myth on YouTube.
Yeah. It's like, depending on the camera, like, yes, there is that number of pixels, but it depends on the quality of those pixels and the quality of your sensor more so than can you fit that many pixels into the frame.
Oh, yeah.
So this is probably 4K footage, but it's like 4K footage on a sensor about the size of like
it's body
an
cam.
eyelash.
It's body
it's
cam.
Trash.
There's no way it's 4K.
Yeah.
Mace officers. Yeah, we already read this. Yeah, dude.
Hey, do you have a gun on you?
No, sir, I did it straight across like you said.
What's that on the left on the left hand side? Don't reach for it.
Oh, Jesus.
Put your hands on your head. Thank you.
No, wait a minute. What have I done wrong?
I'll explain it to you, man. Put your hands on your head, please.
Why?
So this is now where I wouldn't even say it's a frisk. You could effectively, you do have a detention here, right? I'd still say this is technically a frisk, but you're in a weird gray area because, like, let's say he's hammered and carrying a gun. You have UCW. There's a couple of things you can really get into this, but
because it looks like you have a gun right there, and if that's not it,
I'm going to show
don't
you
reach
the
for
gun.
it.
Look.
Okay, chill out, dude.
I'm going to show you the gun, man. Don't shoot me. I ain't got.
What do you have?
I ain't got a gun. Don't make me shoot. Don't make me.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Don't shoot me. I ain't got.
What do you have?
I ain't got a gun. Don't make me shoot. Don't make me.
Both officers took
I like the
cover
beat
by
he made, though.
patrol car.
Fucking Juan. Christ. My fear is that this guy was
remix that.
Yeah, my fear is this guy was probably drunk. They said that he almost got hit by a car, and I guess the street that he had initially crossed. This is why, dude. Go home and get drunk.
big gulp that he had, probably just
dude, straight alcohol,
full of liquor.
I've had this conversation a few times about the whole legalize it movement. I never fought someone high on marijuana, but god dang it, I fought people all the time that were drunk. And this is why. This is why this happens. Jeez, dude.
1998, we're south of 81st.
When those officers
Get back in the
arrived,
vehicle.
an action team was formed, and Newman was giving commands. Newman did not respond to the commands,
Yeah,
so
'cause
a
he's
less
dead.
lethal beanbag round was deployed.
Hey, listen to me. Do not reach for the gun. Do you understand me? Do not reach for the gun. Roll away from the gun.
Let me switch out with him. Come on.
I got a taser behind me if you want to hold him on the phone.
Don't move. I'll give him verbals. Roll on your stomach.
Kentucky
Roll on your
Deluxe
stomach.
Coke.
You need to roll on your stomach for us. Do not reach for the gun. We see the gun there. Do not reach for it.
Once secured, officers rendered aid to Newman, and he was taken to the hospital and recovered from his injuries.
Shout out.
Oh, after getting magged up like that, dude.
Bro, he's built different, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. We saw some
Saved
good.
by the alcohol.
We saw some good policing. Alcohol can kill you faster because then your blood thins out. Yeah, man.
It gives you superpowers.
Yeah, that's a wild. That whole thing was right here. I'll make us full screen here. Here we go. Hell yeah. This got real jank. Hold on. Here we are, one.
I want to see this. I want to see if you can get fancy
This
on me.
got real jank, but
Am I gonna be proud?
maybe. You'll at least be less disappointed.
Oh goodness, no, that's pretty bad.
It got bad. I fixed it a little bit. I at least put us on the center of the screen here.
You could just set up a separate scene with the faces and oh my god.
So
okay,
I'd like to thank everybody that stopped by. I'm going to address anybody else that's left here in the chat so we can go and have it. Drinks and guns are bad in combination, and I hope they're able to recover. Thank goodness no one passed away. I agree. The Kentucky Deluxe and Coke comment.
Yeah.
Blank, I will only read this one, and is why did the drunk guy cross the road? Let's see. You can, wow.
One-legged foot chase. Alec, where'd you put the one-legged foot chase? I don't remember a one-legged foot chase.
Alec, drop it in the Discord and we'll go look at it. Yeah, I would have to move it again.
Gotta look.
Here, I'll move this again in case it's a real thing. See if you
Oh,
can...
I think I see it. Hang on, I'm gonna redo it. Is it the one from Cops, Alec? I just redropped it in there, Josh. It's not in the general. It's in podcast video links.
Tracking. Okay, here we are. General. Oh, what's going on, Manifold? Thank you for what's going on, my guy.
Welcome to the Discord, man.
Here we are. Hold on.
Thanks for joining us.
One-legged.
Okay, yeah, let's see if we can. You might as well freaking leave the camera as it is at this point. Jeez.
Hold on. I gotta do a thing. Oh, is this gonna work? Got it. Pausing. Hold on.
Yeah, so I think it's a clip from Cops TV.
Here it is. Here it is. I figured it out. I'm gonna go full screen. We're gonna have to mute this ad.
I'm going to read the description. So Deputy Borman, a disabled officer who lost his foot in a shooting accident, wears a prosthetic device attached to his leg. During a routine patrol, Deputy Borman stops a male suspect who was riding his bicycle without the proper headlight equipment. During questioning, the suspect tosses a crack pipe into the bushes and flees the scene. Deputy Borman chases the suspect, scales the fence, and immediately tackles the suspect.
Damn.
Suspect is arrested on several charges. What a beast, man. All right, we got to watch this now.
Okay, hold on. Now I have to project it real quick. Hold on, I gotta share screen. I gotta share screen with you so you can actually see it.
Oh yeah.
Go live. Okay, it's gonna mess with my thing again, so I gonna do it live, baby. Here, gotta get you one. There we are, and then just kind of shrink us here. This got King Jank, but we're here for it. Okay, there we go. Is it gonna do it or no?
I don't see it.
Is it? Why is
Here,
this?
just tell me when you're. Oh no, it's puppet. Here, if you just tell me when you started, I have it pulled up on a tab. I'll
Okay.
just start watching it there.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Because that was a crack pipe. Put your hands behind your back.
That was not.
Oh!
Oh, he's straight up
Oh!
busted. He's in shorts and everything, dude. Look at him go. I can't run that fast with functioning legs.
Bro, he smoked the camera guy.
See, and that's where I'm impressed, because I don't know if you remember that one video we saw where they were following the troopers, and the camera guy has to slow down because the trooper's too damn slow.
On your back. Put your hands behind your...
What am I arrested for?
Get on your stomach.
Damn.
Get on your stomach. Give me your other hand.
I got my wallet in.
Drop it. Give me your other hand.
Bro! What an animal.
That was insane.
To keep up with a guy in a foot chase, shout out, because he's a big boy. This guy lifts, right? Jumps the fence, gets on the guy, gets rear mount. He's sitting on his hips. I gotta show you, like, I'm legit. He's built different, dude. This is full control of this dude's hips, which keeps him from standing back up. He gets control of one of these arms and pins it and doesn't occupy. He's not punching. He's not doing it. He's just like, hey, give me the other hand. Real calm as a cucumber, dude. What an animal.
I got my wallet in.
Drop it. Give me your other hand.
Very
You're gonna
concise.
Go to your knees.
That was
You're gonna
great.
Get up right now.
You think this guy lifts weights but does no cardio? And that's why.
No, I think he's just amped because the guy ran from him.
No. I mean the guy
The other
that
guy?
ran.
The other guy probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
He said he's super built and whatever, but he gets. Yeah, I think he's one of those. He's like, no, I'm just lifting weights, man. And then he's neglected his cardio.
Let me catch you.
Because he's taller too, so like he should have a longer
Oh,
stride
yeah.
on top of everything else.
He's got 2 legs.
He probably got hemmed up on the fence too.
100%, dude. 100%.
Bet he doesn't have practice on that.
Let's
Let's check
run
out.
from
Well, I
the
want to see. Go
hallways.
back
And then
a
let's
little
let
bit. I
him
want to
catch.
see if he does leg day.
That's incredible, dude. Okay, that was worth the rearranging.
That was definitely
and all that
worth
kind of
it.
Stuff. Alec, you get a +1 on that one. Shout out here. I'll make us big again. Make one big again. Shout out to everybody there. Again, that was randomly from our Discord. Of which who did they just join again? I'm gonna give him a shout out here on live.
What for? Manifold.
Manifold. Shout out to Manifold.
Manifold just joined. He
For
just
joining
joined our Patreon.
Patreon group. So you get shout outs like this live. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Jacob, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It made this monetizable. Or it made it monetized.
Hooray.
We didn't do it for absolute free. So I appreciate it for everyone that was there with us. I appreciate Juan for coming in and swooping in and saving the day. Hopefully Juan can get some good shut-eye after this. And then him and I both have to go back to editing. I have to edit for my real job and all the other kind of stuff. Incredible Cop. Thanks, guys. Get some sleep, Juan. At least Pamela.
Yeah,
Pamela cares in whatever this porn site that's spamming us right now.
Jesus, look at this. Goodness gracious, they went hard, dude. This is like.
Let's see. Blank Forge, thank you for being in here with us. Manifold, thank you for it. Pamela, again, thank you for sticking with us. You've been here this whole time. Thank you to everyone that dropped a like. Obviously, thank you to producer Juan for giving us that. If you like this stuff, we do it every Thursday, and on Tuesdays we do Tactical Tuesdays. So if you're into video games, we've been playing a bunch of games on there. We're gonna have to get creative while Bill is aloft in the rest of the United States and not here in the great state of Texas. And I believe we have some other stuff coming up as far as collabs, and I've got some cool, spicy stuff coming up for you guys. I've personally had a change in employment, which has given me access to some really cool stuff. And Juan and I, as cool as it will be that we get to do a bunch of stuff, that unfortunately puts just a bunch of editing on Juan and I. So we will hopefully be bringing that stuff to you. I appreciate, again, like I said, our Patreon group. They have made it to where this is so much easier for us to do. And we're this close to being able to afford some editing help. So hopefully we can get some more content to you guys quicker, because it won't just be the Juan show when it comes to that. Thank you.
And we are going to be doing some of that stuff that's going to be Patreon only, just because some of it's not YouTube friendly.
Yeah.
So we will be adding a lot more stuff to the Patreon.
We're going to have some Pew reviews and some Pew related things. So if you guys are interested in that, go check out our Patreon. That's the only way you're going to get it. Or our Discord. We give like deals and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a Phoenix light that we're going to be doing a review on. Shout out to
We're
Phoenix.
going to be doing a review on this thing.
You know, will it
I'm very
focus?
excited to
Yeah.
put it on my 1911.
So, like I said, we'll be getting that stuff done. We'll be getting that stuff to you guys. Some of it, like I said, will be Patreon specific. Juan, you're so crazy. And so,
Phasmophobia stream.
Get the Phasmophobia stream. That's right. Thank you to everyone that has sat here through us for the whole thing. And Cheesy, what's going on? Waves in second responder. Jesus.
He's just coming in to see if the scene's secure yet.
Yes, the scene is secure. I will join the Discord people. I will join our Patreon members in Discord. Until next time, peace. Today was actually 2 man.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me make sure this is.
We did it live for the first time.
We did it live. Hey.